No.
No. No.
I'm Balpreet Kaur, and I'm 19, and I go to university at Ohio State University. And today, I did a lecture on Gurbani and how you can use it to actively enforce change in your life. And my favorite Gurbani line is मित्र किनेरे कर थकी मेरा दुख काटे होए मिल प्रीतम दुख कटिया शब्द लावा होए and what it really means I'm so tired of so many friends that they would take so easily like make me happy but I have found that true happiness comes with meeting our beloved by meeting Shabad, by meeting Guru Shabad. So that for me sums up my approach to Gurmat and how I see Seb. And we're just gonna go around and if you don't have like the Gurbani line memorized or you remember the translation, that's fine too. Or inspirational thing from Saki's Sikh history or something from your life that you found very powerful. So we're going to get really close and personal with this. Okay? Yeah. And when someone's talking to kids, we please like give them attention and because there's already noise happening over there and we really want to just make the best of the time. Why did you Khalsa? Why did you
My name is Bibi. I'm 19. Born and raised in Surrey. You know me. Always at the Gurdwara for 2 years now. Straight. Live there every day, almost. And hopefully one day I'll be the Pradhan. That's pretty much it.
favorite Gurbani inspiration? Same.
I got into ski 2 years ago, talking to Ahmad. Started keeping my hair 3 years ago. And similar to Balpreet Kaur, pretty much. Tried those sort of things too as well. A lot of bad friends, things like that. And thank God I'm here today. Otherwise, probably be a drug dealer, most likely.
And whatever stays in this circle, whatever happens in this circle, what we talk about stays in this circle. Okay? Hanji, thirty bucks. Uchi bole please because I can't hear you. Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh.
My name is Jasjot Singh. I've been born and raised in Surrey. And yeah, that's pretty much it.
Favorite Gurbani line or inspiration?
I don't really have one.
Hanji?
No,
Inspiration from Sikh history, inspiration from any Gursikh or your life.
I don't know. Like a lot of my life, I've been listening to a lot of Sakis, and a lot of the Sakis that inspired me to go on.
Which one's your favorite?
I don't really have a favorite. I just get inspired by it.
Hanji?
My name is Gurinder Singh.
Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa,
Ka Khalsa,
Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh. Fatehs are always loud. Hanji?
My name is Gurinder Singh.
Uchi bhi bolo, maine sunna nahi.
My name is Gurinder Singh.
Gurinder Singh? We're talking to the whole group here.
Yeah.
one, guys. Speak louder.
I'm 14.
You're 14.
You just shot. He's the camera guy.
Yeah, I'm so short. 14.
Favorite Gurbani line, guys. Don't forget. That's most important. Something that.
बोर पे भी है बोल दे.
Yeah. And what does that mean for you?
So it's the bird more bolna, like it's bolna, right?
And
You should bolna.
whenever Guru Sahib has mentioned an animal, most of all a bird, it's mostly talking about pyas and the pyas for Guru. And I think that is an important feeling to have. Pyas that you can't survive. Like the chatrik bird, one raindrop is all it needs, and it still goes on searching for it. So it's important to have like it personal to mind. Hanji. Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh.
My name is Manjot Singh. I'm 15 years old. The most inspirational thing is I'm at Khalsa camp for the first time this summer.
What did you learn there?
A lot of sakis, a lot of significantly how important Amanda is.
Cool. Hanji. Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh.
My name is Balpreet Kaur.
Speak to the group, not me.
I'm 15 years old.
Favorite Gurbani line or inspiration? You can read opposite We'll get there. How about we come back to you? Can we come back to you?
Yeah.
Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh.
My name is Sudan. I'm 14.
Favorite Gurbani. Okay, I should just plaster this to my forehead. Favorite Gurbani line.
Fear the bind is my child.
It's my favorite Lemon Pepper. What does that mean for you? Hanji?
My mind is good. Happy.
Happy. Yeah. When is it happy?
Hearing about.
Yeah, hearing the arrival of like your heart. Hanji.
My name's Waheguru Ji Ka
Khalsa,
Khalsa.
Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh.
My name's Jenny Kaur. I'm 16 from Surrey. And my favorite Gurbani line is this is Shabad. I really like it. It's Sachi Preet from Sojo. Yeah, I really like that one.
What does that mean for you?
It's like me telling God that like I've let go of like the entire world and fallen in love with you.
Hanji. Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh. Choti Manpreet Kaur?
There's another one right here.
Acha, acha. Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh. Can you speak louder?
My name is Grinder and I live in Bibi. I'm 14 years old. And my favorite Gurbani line is Teri Pagdi Meche Tere Bo, because no matter how I tie my case, you always will love it.
Aww. Cool. Did everyone hear that?
No.
Can you speak louder like I am? Like project your voice?
You have to start again.
Maybe just the Gurbani line and what it means for you?
My favorite Gurbani line is Teri Pagdi Meche Tere Bo, because no matter how I tie my case, it always will look nice. So.
Yeah.
Braj.
Hanji.
Say Fateh, say Fateh.
Your name,
Introduce
where
yourself.
you're from, your age, and a favorite Gurbani line.
Introduce yourself.
My name is Balpreet Singh. Where you Khasa, where you Fateh. My name is Balpreet Singh. I'm 15 from Surrey. Yeah.
Gurbani line. Favorite.
Favorite Gurbani line?
Your favorite
Favorite
Gurbani line.
line?
Anything.
You gotta think about that. There's many.
Inspiration that you got either from like the camp or previous camps, your life.
Ahmed Villa's pretty good. I've been inspired to wake up every day since then.
Yeah. Cool. Love. Hanji.
Ahmed said industry.
Why are you say?
Yeah, I'm from Barcelona. I'm 16, and my favorite line is Hey David Ramuga.
What does that mean?
And praise it, the name of love.
Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh.
I'm from Delta and I'm 13. And my favorite Gurbani line is
Wait, you're speaking to the group, not.
I don't know Punjabi, so yeah.
Which one? Now, what does that mean for you?
Why you so sad?
Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh.
My name is Balpreet Kaur.
Yeah, speak loud like her.
I was born in India but was raised in Surrey. And I'm 16 years old. And my favorite Gurbani line is Sab Janam Chuna Ka Safal Hai. Jin Har Ke Naam Ki Man Lagi Bhukha. So the translation is that fruitful is the entire life of those who hunger for the name of the Lord. So who have piyas for like their life is fruitful.
I hope you realize most of the shabads we've talked about are about Pyas. And that I think you guys should realize that that represents your own Pyas. Whether you understand it or not, what that means for you yet. And just recognizing that all these Gurbani lines that you've told me and each other, they are significant because they stick out to you for a reason. So, yeah.
My name is Balpreet Kaur. I'm 17. I'm from Surrey. My favorite Gurbani line is Mere Mathe Lagi Bejuno. It means I put the dust of good side on my
Waheguru Ji Ka
Khalsa,
Khalsa.
Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh.
My name is Bibi. I'm 16 and I'm from Surrey. My favorite Gurbani line is Bin Bolya Sab Kuch Janda Kis Aage Kicha Ardas, because if you feel something's unfair, you don't have to worry because God knows what's going on. You don't even before you do ardas, He knows what's going on in your mind. So.
Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh.
My name is Balpreet. I'm born and raised from Vancouver, and I go to Churchill Secondary, and also my favorite Gurbani line is and I like that Gurbani line because it explains that you need the in your life to turn God, and the full happy life isn't gonna get you there because
Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh.
My name is Balpreet Singh. I'm 16.
Hanji?
Balpreet Singh. I'm 16. My favorite Bhakti is Hum Log Tar Fir Koi Baat Na Puchta. And then I'm more into the 80s that happened in Punjab. This was like the revolution stuff. And then the conflicts and what they did for us. To all this stuff.
Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh.
I go to high school.
My favorite.
Why?
My favorite Gurbani line is Sir Sai Naniva So Sirik Kapukar. It means that the head which does not bow to the Lord chop off and remove the head. I like it because it kind of like kind of gives a really deep feeling when you're doing meditation and doing serious
Why did you go?
Khalsa.
वाहिगुरु जी की फतेह.
My name is Kevin.
Koina, my brother's name is Danny. It's all good.
Okay. So my name is Kevin. I'm 16-year-old. Born and raised in Vancouver. The most inspiring thing for me is by Benology, how he came above all like the corruption. He actually stood up for his community and he fought for like the right cause. That actually inspires me because whenever something is wrong, I actually stand up like because he's my model. Like I look up to him because he said fight against anything that's wrong and stuff.
Cool. Riji, do you want to go? Since you're in our circle.
Wahiगuru Ji Ka
Khalsa. Waheeguru Ji Ki Fateh.
My name is Gagan Singh. I'm 19. I'm from Surrey. I can't pick a favorite Pamti. Like sometimes different Gurbani talks hit you differently.
What's your favorite Gurbani line today?
Today is the Pamti I was reading. Pyare in the minute Najai. And the entire shop just goes through how by going through all these rituals and just even matha taking at someone's feet, we can refer, like we can say that but the Rusa. If you don't have the devotion behind it, it's just a ritual. And Rusa comes to even for us, we can go to the box if we don't have the actual meaning behind it. It's just Rusa says, and he says it with pyare that you're not going to find God through these rituals, right? It says, "Hard kare Swami ke dware dijiye bod ko dekha." That if you just grasp onto the Vaheguru, and listen to what Guru Sahib is saying, have the devotion and be practical in what you're doing. And Guru Sahib will tell you what's right and what's wrong. That's just something that was somehow, I don't know how, it was probably from the Ethan that
Hi Khalsa.
वाहिगुरु जी की फतेह.
मेरा नाम बिल्कुल सिंह ते इंडिया तो ते सभी च रहने ਹੁਣ ਤੇ ਮੇਰੀ ਫੇਵਰਿਟ ਲਾਈਨ ਹੈਗੀ ਆ ਜਿਨ ਪ੍ਰੇਮ ਕੀ ਉਹ ਤਿੰਨ ਮਿੱਤਰਾ ਪਾਓ. ਦੈਟ ਮੀਨਸ ਪ੍ਰੇਮ ਸਾਰਿਆਂ ਨਾਲ ਆਪਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਕਰਨਾ ਚਾਹੀਦਾ, ਸਾਰੇ ਮਨੁੱਖਤਾ ਨੂੰ, ਸ੍ਰਿਸ਼ਟੀ ਨੂੰ ਤੇ ਜੀ ਜੰਤ ਜਿੰਨੇ ਹੈਗੇ ਆ ਸੋ ਪਿਆਰ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਹੀ ਆਪਾਂ ਗੁਰੂ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਨੂੰ
Oh, there's one more?
इतना नाइस कर दिया अन्ना की तो क्लास दस ही उधर चला ओके ए हरजोत कौर है she's 10-year-old go to Khalsa school go to Chai now.
What's your favorite chapter?
Good, that's great. Yay. Thank you so much for all the patience and actually thinking about what the Gurbani meant. So basically this discussion is going to be whatever you guys want it to be. And so any questions, any stories, it's going to be a kind of like bonding time. We're here to learn and teach ourselves from others. So, Anji. Yeah, that's the biggest Gurbani I've had.
वहाँ पे
What was I saying? Oh, Hanji. So this discussion is just like open time for you guys to ask me or ask VD or Gagan VD or anyone actually, just questions or tell us about whatever hit hit you today, hit you during camp, and we can talk about it so we can just increase your depth. And Jenny, please sit up. That would be great. And so first of all, I would like to just open up. Like, are there any questions from the lecture that I did today? Like no like compliments or whatever, just questions. Any
So you took Amrit how long ago?
April? This April.
How did you decide that it was real?
Huh?
How did you decide it was real?
It made me happy. You know? When we're sitting in Ethan or just like being around persons, you just feel happy.
नहीं पर जितना तुसी हम तुसी दूसरे सर्कल च रहंदे सी ना how you come or like केड़ा टाइम सीगा हो फिर
And they talked about it in the lecture, but Guru Sahib gets us out of so many circles, you know, and it tells you
but केड़ा सीगा moment like to be
moment.
like,
I was
remember like that time of changing my life
Samagam te mere Keetan sir ne sige, and like accompanying sige, and so like I just remember crying during Keetan, and like feeling Guru Sahib, you know, I was like, okay, that was the moment I was like, this is what I want to do. But some people had different moments, you know, they're just walking and then they have a thought and then they're like, okay, let's do it. Has anyone, like, are you guys comfortable sharing your moment of where you decided that, yes, I want to do this? Not just like Amrit, but like any step actually, like when did you start doing Path? When did you start like doing, getting up at Amrit Vela? When did you deem it important to have Guru Sahib in your life, regardless of your rahat? I feel like they're urging you on. How do you feel about it?
So, I don't know where to start.
Hanji?
Hey, I don't know where to start though.
Where's, just pinpoint one moment where you realized it was important for you to have you in your life.
So, once I got to high school, like, it was all about popularity, becoming friends with cool people, doing your own thing, you're gonna act cool and stuff. I started hanging with the wrong crowd, started doing bad things. But like, slowly things happened in my life, which I realized that this stuff doesn't matter. Because at the end of the day, you don't respond to good with that's the main guy that you respond to. So that's like when I stopped impressing others and started like I started getting depressed myself. I'm like, oh, I don't know why I'm happy, I'm chasing something, but I still can't get it. That's when I started jumping down. And slowly started figuring out that this is the path I want to take. So I cut down all the negative energy that's trying to hold me back and started talking to people who were positive, inspiring me to do things which I never thought I would do.
Goodbye, that's you know, said DJ Khan, like once you decide to give your head to the side to Maharaj, you don't care what people say about you, right? If you're popular, if you're not, what people say. It's very good.
मैं ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਇੱਕ ਘੰਟੇ ਦੇ ਸਵਾਲ ਚੰਗਾ ਪੁੱਛੀ ਜਾਂਦਾ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਸੀ ਰੈਂਸ ਵਿੱਚ ਗਏ ਹੈ ਨਾ
Nee, that's smart.
ਰੈਂਸ
It wasn't. Oh, I meant
ਪਰ
the
how you
dance
end up
mine
there
day.
like ਜਦੋਂ ਤੁਸੀਂ
Oh, Cincinnati ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਮੈਂ 5 ਮਿੰਟ ਦੂਰ ਰਹਿੰਦੀ ਹਾਂ ਗੁਰਦੁਆਰੇ ਤੋਂ, like ਇੱਕ street ਛੱਡ ਕੇ ਗੁਰਦੁਆਰਾ ਹੈ, we walk to ਗੁਰਦੁਆਰਾ. Cincinnati Swagam's been happening for 10 years. I unfortunately didn't know until like the last year or the year before. But going back to what Viji said, Teri pagat na chodo pave log hase. Teri pagat na chodo pave log hase. I will never give up your worship, even if people praise me, even if they make fun of me, even if they do make it a popularity contest. And I think it's important for especially kids. Like I'm the same age as you guys, and I'm in college, and I still deal with like, you know, being popular or having friends, right? Because you want to have friends, you do. You're not.
But if you treat yourself, you get
Yes.
two friends.
Yeah. So it's a matter of choosing those friends that make you appreciate life, basically. And like now, I might have like 3 really close friends at college, right? And I'm comfortable with that because they know me and I don't need to like go out and, you know, do all these weird things to get friends, because I know I have like at least 3 people that I can count on and like trust, but at the same time realize that guru is your best friend regardless, because at the end of the day when they leave out of my dorm, I'm sitting there doing raras, right? So it's a way of bringing yourself back. So yeah, we can relate to that, especially in high school. I remember in high school, I was an awkward person in high school. So yeah.
Gurbani also says, now that when they say that the true friends we have are the ones that when we see them, our sense of duality goes away. When we see Guru Sahib and we see our pyar for Guru Sahib grows further and we hug them and we apam kasiyana and there. Those are the true friends that we have. Mittara Sadare say, Gurbani says. So,
Yeah.
you know.
Wow. I'd like to pose a question again. Any questions about today's lecture, or any question at all about camp, about just any doubts, questions?
Who can do seva?
Everyone. Because seva means selfless service, and that applies to all of humankind. However, I come from a very small town, and there is no difference between like who can do seva. So I personally think that everyone can do seva, because seva is about helping people, and I think Guru Sahib, like I just think of Bhai Kanhaiya ji, you know, he gave water to the Muslims, even though they were the enemy. And I think once we reach that level of thinking that seva is done by anyone for everyone, then I think that is true seva. And yeah.
What is seva?
What's seva?
What is seva?
And
Selfless
Seva ਕੀ ਹੈ?
service. You're serving someone without expecting return.
ਪਰ ਸੇਵਾ ਵੀ ਉੱਥੇ ਆ ਜਿੱਥੇ ਆਈ ਥਿੰਕ ਲੋੜ ਆ ਨਾ। ਆਪਣੇ ਹੁਣ ਕਈ ਵਾਰ ਦੇਖਿਆ ਗੁਰਦੁਆਰਿਆਂ ਵਿੱਚ ਵੀ ਜਾਂ ਹੋਰ ਵੀ ਜਿੱਥੇ ਇੱਕ ਪਾਸੇ ਸੇਵਾ ਦੀ ਲੋੜ ਆ, ਉੱਥੇ ਕੋਈ ਸੇਵਾ ਕਰਦਾ ਨਹੀਂ, ਦੂਜੇ ਪਾਸੇ ਲੈਣ ਲੱਗੀ ਆ, ਹੈ ਨਾ। ਸੇਵਾ ਵੀ ਉੱਥੇ ਆ ਜਿੱਥੇ ਲੋਕ, ਜਿੱਦਾਂ ਹੁਣ ਆਪਣੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਗੁਰਦੁਆਰਾ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਜਾਓ, 5-6 ਬੰਦੇ ਸ਼ੂ ਸਾਫ਼ ਕਰਨ ਲੱਗੇ ਆ, ਪਰ ਉੱਥੇ ਸਫਾਈ ਆ, ਪਰ ਬਾਥਰੂਮ ਜਾ ਕੇ ਦੇਖੋ ਕਿੰਨੇ ਗੰਦੇ ਆ, ਉਹ ਕੋਈ ਸਾਫ਼ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਰ ਰਿਹਾ, ਹੈ ਨਾ। ਸੋ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਸੇਵਾ ਵੀ ਉੱਥੇ ਆ ਜਿੱਥੇ ਲੋੜ ਆ, ਜਿੱਥੇ ਸੇਵਾ ਦੀ ਲੋੜ ਨਹੀਂ, ਧੱਕਾ ਆ, ਸੇਵਾ ਦੀ ਖਾਤਰ ਧੱਕੇ ਵੱਜ ਰਹੇ ਆ, that's not ਸੇਵਾ.
I think Guru Sahib wanted us to be efficient, but also, yeah, being efficient, and but you have to, yeah. So.
You know how Guruji said to give 10% of the money to Guru?
This one.
Yeah, right.
Oh, guys. Okay, when you get jobs, the Swand Network. We have the Swand Network. Job. Naukri.
Work.
I don't have a job. I don't have a job.
What's a job?
Job. Oh, chale. When you have a job, when you're working, the Swand is 10% of your earnings. When you have a job, you donate, I think, every month, right? Or like whenever. Like there's apparently like a few gursiks that like take 10% and give 90% away. So the Swand is basically 10%. Whether it be for me, it's whether if you don't have a job, then it's your time. 10% of your time every day or every week, every month to Guru Sahib. Whether it is doing seva, doing bani, doing nitnem, you know, putting an effort towards Guru Sahib. And Gurmat. 10%, this one. So I think that equates to like 2 hours a day. 2 hours a day if you can wake up at 2.5. 2.5 hours a day if you can wake up, you know, do nitnem, and then go on and do raras and like a little bit of simran and then sahila. I think that could easily make 2 hours, right? But also it's not limited to just bani. It's also seva. Like I know I'm in college, so I volunteer at like interfaith organizations. I volunteer at homeless shelters, whatever. And So that is also working towards the guru, because you're putting seva into your daily life. So if you can spend 2.5 hours a week, basically, or how much is 10% of a week? Like
Maybe just
6
2.5
hours.
2.5 times every day.
2.5
times 7. So
So 14, 19, about a day. If you spend like an entire, like you go to Gurdwara, do Langar Seva, and then go home and then go to a soup kitchen and help out there. Like, you know, like prioritizing your time. So you spend some with Guru, towards Guru.
ਜਿਹੜਾ ਦਸਵੰਧ ਦੇਣ ਦਾ ਵੀ ਹੈ ਨਾ ਉਹ ਵੀ
Only 10% of your earnings.
ਦੇਣਾ ਕਿੱਥੇ ਆ
You give it to basically anything that is of service, anything that motivates you to do seva. For me, that's what it means. Like,
ਜਿੱਥੇ ਜਿੱਥੇ ਚਾਹੀਦਾ
yeah.
ਹੈ ਨਾ ਜਿੱਥੇ
Not just Sikh stuff, not just like Sikhi related projects, but other projects. I know I donated to Write Love on Our Arms, which is a anti-suicide and depression hotline, and it's a campaign towards mental health awareness, and I'm a really big fan of mental health. So I donated to them, and like just wherever you're interested in. If you're interested in like cars, you could donate to like those programs that give cars to veterans that can't afford them, or you could donate to Salvation Army and all that stuff. So it's just about giving back, because 10% is Guru's. It's not yours, so why take credit for it? So you're giving it back.
I know some Gursikhs say that the percent should be given toward a Gurmat cause, because if it is the Guru's, it should be given to the Guru, and the Guru should decide what to do with it, right? So like they give 10% to Gurdwara or something related. So,
But see, nowadays, I think Gurdwara are just like, it's just very like, depending on like the atmosphere of the Gurdwara, I think it's your judgment if you want to donate to a Gurdwara. I know, like, I would donate to my Gurdwara for sure. Like, I'm like, okay, honey. But you also need clarity. You also need like, where is that money going? You don't want to give it to a Gurdwara and then like it end up in like a committee's hand and they're spending it on sharab or something, right?
that's the best thing to is to give it yourself. Like if you go to
and
India,
other thing is too ਜਿਹੜੇ ਆਪਾਂ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਗੱਲ ਕਰਦੇ ਆ ਸਿਆਣੇ ਬਜ਼ੁਰਗ ਆ ਜਾਂ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਮੈਂਟਲੀ ਆ ਉਹ ਵੀ ਗੁਰੂ ਦੇ ਹੀ ਬਣਾਏ ਆ ਨਾ ਵੀ ਰੱਬ ਦਾ ਇੱਕੋ ਹੀ ਪਰਮਾਤਮਾ ਦਾ ਇੱਕੋ ਹੀ ਹੈ ਨਾ ਦੇ ਆਰ ਹਿਊਮਨ ਉਹ ਵੀ ਹਿਊਮਨ ਆ ਤੇ ਉਹ ਵੀ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਵੀ ਆਪਾਂ ਟੇਕ ਕੇਅਰ ਕਰਨੀ
I'm not saying this. I'm just saying some Gursikhs say this. I'm just like the
ਪਰ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਉਹ ਵੀ ਗੁਰੂ ਨੇ ਬਣਾਏ ਆ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਸਾਰੀ ਦੁਨੀਆ ਆ ਜਿੰਨੀ ਆ ਸੰਸਾਰ ਬਣਾਇਆ ਗੁਰੂ ਨੇ ਬਣਾਇਆ
Yeah. No, but okay, so I'm gonna shake your world a little bit. Wait for it. It might be a little blasphemous, but I'll explain myself. Gurmat isn't entirely about Sikhi. Sikhi is entirely about Gurmat. Understand? Get it? Get it? Gurmat is Guru's mat, which is thinking, ideology, Guru's way, I would say. So, Sikhi is entirely about Gurmat. Gurmat isn't entirely about Sikhi. Because the vision that Guru Sahib presented was for all of humanity. They foresaw a world where everyone was equal, everyone was treated as a person, right? And I do interfaith work and I keep talking about it. But that Christian that doesn't look like a Gursikh, sometimes I'm like, you're living Guru's way more than I am, right? They have glimpses of Gurmat. And that Muslim, prays so faithfully. I wish I had that much faith as he did. It's different expressions. They're all expressions towards Vaheguru, towards their inner Guru. But Sikhi is unique that it is a very straightforward path. I think all other paths, no matter how much we talk about them, they're very slightly convoluted, but I think Sikhi is very straightforward, very much about Gurmat. But Gurmat shouldn't always be limited. You shouldn't always try to find Gurmat in Sikhi, because Gurmat is always in Sikhi. You should try finding Gurmat wherever you go, with non-Sangat as well. Because what if you leave your parents, you leave your Sangat atmosphere and you're alone? Who do you rely on then, right? I'm in a college of 60,000 people and there's like 26 and I'm the only Dastar wali Bibi. How do I still maintain my relationship with Guru Sahib when I don't have Sangat? You try finding Gurmat in every single person. Like, you know, we have like shabads of Hans. The Hans, you know, selectively picks jewels from the river. Same way, you should selectively pick Gurmat. Try and see Gurmat in every single person, regardless of their kapda, right? Whether or not they label themselves as Sikhs. Because then you're focusing on their gun, you're focusing on the Guru in them, and not getting affected by anything else, all of the Maya that we're surrounded by.
ਮੇਰੇ ਸਾਡੇ ਨਾਲ ਵੀ ਇੱਕ ਕ੍ਰਿਸਚੀਅਨ ਮੁੰਡਾ ਮੇਰੇ ਨਾਲ ਕੰਮ ਕਰਦਾ ਤੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਜਿੱਦਾਂ ਆਪਾਂ 10% ਦੀ ਗੱਲ ਕਰਦੇ ਨਾ ਐਵਰੀ ਪੇਚਅਪ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚੋਂ ਆਟੋਮੈਟਿਕਲੀ 10% ਦਿੰਦੇ
ਹਾਂਜੀ
ਖਰਚਾ ਔਰ ਉਹਨੇ ਆਪਣਾ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਇੱਕ ਹੋਰ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਮੈਂ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਚੀਜ਼ ਦੇਖੀ ਆ 2 ਸਾਲ ਲਈ ਉਹ ਵਲੰਟੀਅਰ ਕਰਨ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਬਾਹਰ 2 ਸਾਲ ਲਈ ਆਪਣੇ ਕੋਲੋਂ ਟਿਕਟ ਪੇ ਕਰਨੀ ਆ ਜਿੰਨਾ ਸਾਰਾ ਖਰਚਾ ਉੱਥੋਂ ਆਪਣੇ ਕੋਲੋਂ ਕਰਨਾ ਉਹਦਾ ਮੁੰਡਾ ਹੁਣ ਗਿਆ ਆ ਏਸ਼ੀਆ ਵਿੱਚ ਕਿਸੇ ਕੰਟਰੀ 'ਚ ਗਿਆ 2 ਸਾਲ ਉੱਥੇ ਰਹਿਣਾ ਉਹਨੇ ਹੁਣ 7-8 ਮਹੀਨੇ ਹੋ ਗਏ ਇਹਨੂੰ ਆਪਣੇ ਕੋਲੋਂ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਉਹਨੇ ਕੰਮ ਕਰਕੇ ਟਿਕਟ ਦੇ ਪੈਸੇ ਜੋੜੇ ਜਿੰਨਾ ਖਰਚਾ ਆਉਣਾ ਸਾਰਾ ਜੋੜ ਕੇ ਹੁਣ 2 ਸਾਲ ਉੱਥੇ ਰਹਿਣਾ ਤੇ ਟੌਪ ਆਫ ਦਾ ਉੱਤੇ ਤੋਂ 10% ਉਹ ਐਵਰੀ ਪੇ ਚੈੱਕ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਉਹ ਦਿੰਦੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਕਿਹਾ ਗਿਆ ਵੀ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕੌਫੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਪੀ ਸਕਦੇ ਕੋਕ ਨਹੀਂ ਪੀ ਸਕਦੇ ਉਹ ਕਦੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਪੀਂਦੇ ਔਰ ਮੈਂ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਕਦੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਦੇਖਿਆ ਕਿਸੇ ਨਾਲ ਈਰਖਾ ਕਰਦਾ ਹੋਵੇ ਜਿੱਦਾਂ ਆਪਾਂ ਗੁਰਸਿੱਖਾਂ ਨਾਲ ਈਰਖਾ ਕਰੀ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਆ ਗੁਰਸਿੱਖਾਂ ਨਾਲ ਈਰਖਾ ਕਰੀ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਆ ਵੀ ਮੈਂ ਉਹਦੇ ਨਾਲੋਂ ਬੈਠ ਰਿਹਾ ਮੈਂ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਨਾਮ ਜਪਦਾ ਉਹ ਥੋੜਾ ਜਪਦਾ ਜਾਂ ਉਹ ਇੱਦਾਂ ਕਰਦਾ ਉਹ ਸਾਡੇ ਨਾਲ ਕੰਮ ਕਰਦਾ ਮੈਂ ਕਦੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਉਹ ਦੇਖਿਆ ਕਿਸੇ ਨਾਲ ਈਰਖਾ ਕਰਦਾ ਮੈਂ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਕਦੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਦੇਖਿਆ ਸੈਡ ਆ ਉਹ ਮੈਂ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਚਰਚ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਵੀ ਗਿਆ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਗਿਆ ਉਹ ਸਾਡੀ ਫੈਮਿਲੀ ਬੱਚੇ ਵੀ ਮੇਰੇ ਗਏ ਸੀ ਨਾਲ ਜੇ ਸਿਰਫ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਚਰਚ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਦੇਖਣੀ ਹੈ ਨਾ ਵੀ ਉਹ ਕਿੰਨੇ ਆਰਗੇਨਾਈਜ਼ ਆ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਸਭ ਤੋਂ ਵਧੀਆ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਚੀਜ਼ ਲੱਗੀ ਹੈ ਨਾ ਉੱਥੇ ਏਜ ਦੇ ਹਿਸਾਬ ਨਾਲ ਉਹ ਕਲਾਸਾਂ ਲਾਉਂਦੇ ਆ ਸਾਡੇ ਇੱਕ ਸਿੰਘ ਕਥਾ ਕਰਦਾ ਵਿੱਚੇ ਬਜ਼ੁਰਗ ਬੈਠੇ ਆ ਵਿੱਚੇ ਨਿਆਣੇ ਬੈਠੇ ਆ ਉਹ ਅੱਧੀਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਤਾਂ 90% ਤਾਂ ਪਤਾ ਹੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਲੱਗਦਾ ਵੀ ਕੀ ਕਹਿ ਰਿਹਾ ਉਹਦਾ ਮਤਲਬ ਕੀ ਆ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਏਜ ਦੇ ਹਿਸਾਬ ਨਾਲ ਉਹਨੇ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਦਿਖਾਲੇ ਸਾਰੇ ਕਮਰੇ ਫਿਰ ਇੱਥੋਂ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਸਾਡੇ ਛੋਟੇ ਬੱਚੇ ਇੱਥੇ ਉਹ ਟੀਚਰ ਕਰਦੇ ਹੁੰਦੇ ਫਿਰ 5 ਤੋਂ ਲੈ ਕੇ 7-8 ਸਾਲ ਤੇ ਇੱਥੇ ਤੱਕ ਫਿਰ 9 ਸਾਲ ਤੋਂ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਇੱਥੇ ਤੱਕ ਉਹ ਸਾਰੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਵੱਖਰੀ ਕਲਾਸਾਂ ਲੱਗਦੀਆਂ ਸਾਡੇ ਤਾਂ ਬੱਚੇ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਆ ਗੁਰਦੁਆਰੇ ਕੋਈ ਖੇਲੀ ਜਾਂਦਾ ਕੋਈ ਟੱਪੀ ਜਾਂਦਾ ਕੋਈ ਕਮਰਾ ਬਣਾਇਆ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਜੇ ਖੇਲਣਾ ਤਾਂ ਉੱਥੇ ਖੇਲ ਲਓ ਜਾ ਕੇ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਇਦਾਂ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈਗਾ ਵੀ ਆਪਾਂ ਹੀ ਆ ਕ੍ਰਿਸਚੀਅਨ ਵੀ ਬਹੁਤ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਸਟ੍ਰਿਕਟ ਹੈਗੇ ਆ ਔਰ ਸਵੇਰ ਨੂੰ ਐਵਰੀ ਡੇ 6 ਵਜੇ ਉਹ ਆਪਣੇ ਬੱਚਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਚਰਚ ਜਾਂਦਾ ਬਾਈਬਲ ਦੀ ਸਟੱਡੀ ਕਰਨ ਡਸਨਟ ਮੈਟਰ ਦੇ ਬੱਚੇ ਕਿੰਨੇ ਵਜੇ ਰਾਤ ਨੂੰ ਸੌਂਦੇ ਆ 11 ਵਜੇ ਸੌਣ 12 ਵਜੇ ਜਾਣ ਸੌਣ ਨੂੰ ਨਹੀਂ ਸਵੇਰ ਨੂੰ 6 ਵਜੇ ਜਾਣਾ ਐਵਰੀ ਡੇ ਉਹ ਚਰਚ ਵਿੱਚ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਆ ਸਟੱਡੀ ਕਰਨ ਬਾਈਬਲ ਦੀ
Guru Sahib said, like, if you're a Muslim, be a good Muslim. If you're a Hindu, be a good Hindu. Like, no big deal. Did I, like, blow your mind or what? Yeah? So, any questions about anything else? What was your original question? You said this one, then I just, like, interrupted you.
You basically answered it.
Any more?
I was gonna be like, so like, because of the politicians and stuff, like happening.
You have to be conscientious of your.
Use your vivek.
Yeah.
Vivek buddhi, right?
Yeah, vivek
See what's
buddhi.
better on.
ਜਿਹੜਾ ਦਾਨ ਕਰਨ ਵਾਲੇ ਉਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਵੀ ਪੰਕਤੀ ਆਉਂਦੀ ਹੈ ਨਾ ਵੀ ਅਕਲੀ ਦਾਨ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਅਕਲ ਆਪਾਂ ਦਾਨ ਹੈ ਦਸਵੰਧ ਕਰਦੇ ਆ ਨਾ ਬਾਣੀ ਵਿੱਚ ਇਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਲਿਖਿਆ ਹੈ ਵੀ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਆਪਣੀ ਜਦੋਂ ਦਾਨ ਦੇਣਾ ਹੈ ਉਹ ਵੀ ਆਪਣੀ ਅਕਲ ਸੋਚ ਕੇ ਦੇਖਣਾ ਵੀ ਕਿੱਥੇ ਦੇਣਾ ਇਹ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈਗਾ ਕਿ ਮੈਂ ਤਾਂ ਆਪਣੇ ਨੂੰ ਦੇਤਾ ਅਗਲਾ ਜੋ ਮਰਜ਼ੀ ਕਰੇ
So like, let's say like, can't you like, let's say that like you don't want to give to a good. I'm not saying you.
You know, it's your choice.
Yeah, but like, can you just have like food, shelter, like work?
Yeah. It's your time, your money, basically like your part of your life, right? 10% of your life. So if everyone lives to 70, that's 7 years you should devote to Guru Sahib. Think about the time you could spend, like, think of every day when you wake up and do Nitnem, how much time that is and how much that accumulates over the years, and then you realize that you've been doing this like forever, right? It's a good feeling. Any more questions? Do you all have questions? Do you have any questions about the lecture? Because I feel like...
It was a good, overall good lecture.
Good? No, I saw a few people sleeping, so I was really worried.
Really?
Yeah.
Do you feel Amrit today? I started like dozing off.
No, Asani Mar should wake you up.
No, that's when I started going to sleep. That's when I started going to sleep.
That's when I went to my That's when the sun
What is one thing you learned today? Oh no, I'm just like. Sorry.
Your family's not gonna always be on your side. You gotta do what's right for you.
Let's not do that. Anji. Your what? Keeping your head. Yes, keeping your head. I was watching a fireman racing video, just to get a feel of what like Khalsa camp would be like, and he was telling the Sangata Sakhi that Guru Gobind Singh Ji had a rock, and he had a bucket full of water, and he takes the rock, throws it in the water. He asks the Gursikhs around him. He's like, so people like, why this rock drown? And people were like, it's the nature of the rock to drown, like it's science, like whatever. Like it's supposed to drown. Yeah, and then he goes like, no, and then he's like, okay, ji, Painanlalji, you tell me. And Painanlalji was like, when it was in your hand, it wasn't drowning. When you let it go, it drowned. And the moral of that Sakhi for me was like Paiman Veer Singh was talking about rahat. If you have rahat, if you have some sort of discipline, right? It's all a journey, right? We can never have perfect rahat. But you know, once you have a certain amount of rahat, right? It's like you're holding Guru's hand. Right? So literally Guru is Gur Mera Sang Sada Hanale through your rahat. And if you let go of rahat, it's like you're letting go of Guru's hand. And you never want to do that. And for me, that was like huge. Because I was like, I never thought of it that way. That Guru Sahib can manifest themselves through the lifestyle you lead. You know, whether that you have a dasar, whether you keep your kish, whether you do seva. You know, if you have rahat, then it's like holding Guru's hand. I was like, oh.
One of the big things that stood out of me was the session where you showed the rock turning into those materials. Like, I compare to like us. Like, if we don't take Amrit, we're going to be that rock. But once we take that Amrit, Guru Sahib will turn us into something.
Yeah. Amrit is the first step. It's not.
But like, what if you're not ready and stuff like?
That's up to you to decide. If you're I wasn't ready. I thought I was gonna go through my Amrit Sanchar when I was 21. I believed my mom. She was like, ki saadi hogi when you're like of sound mind and you can make your own decisions, right? Then you can partake in it. But you know, you never know when you're ready unless you do it.
You can never be ready. You can never be ready.
ਇੱਕ ਹੋਰ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਪੇਰੈਂਟਸ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਇਹ ਗੱਲ ਕਹਿ ਦਿੰਦੇ ਆ ਵੀ ਜੋ ਸਪੈਸ਼ਲੀ ਕੁੜੀਆਂ ਲਈ ਵੀ ਜਦੋਂ ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਵਿਆਹ ਹੋ ਗਿਆ ਪਤਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਿੱਦਾਂ ਦੇ ਰਿਸ਼ਤੇਦਾਰ ਮਿਲਣੇ ਹੈ ਨਾ ਪਰ ਭਈ ਜਦੋਂ ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਵਿਆਹ ਹੋ ਗਿਆ ਪਤਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਿੱਦਾਂ ਦੇ ਮਿਲਣੇ ਆ ਫਿਰ ਜਦੋਂ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਅੰਮ੍ਰਿਤ ਪਾਨ ਕੀਤਾ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਗੁਰਸਿੱਖੀ ਹੈਗੀ ਆ ਤੇ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਜੀਵਨ ਸਾਥੀ ਆ ਉਹ ਵੀ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਉਦਾਂ ਦਾ ਹੀ ਮਿਲੂਗਾ
And me, Amrit Sanchar is like literally the best wedding proposal. Yeah. And when you partake in it, it's like you said yes to the best groom ever, right? It's like starting your marriage with Guru Sahib. Personal story actually. I wore my chola on Friday, right? I wore my second chola. I wore my first chola ever at my Amrit Sanchar, and then I lost it. I don't know where it went. I wore a chola again. I walked into the bar hall and I felt like I was marrying Guru Sahib all over again. I felt so happy and blessed that I could wear the uniform. I was just like, you know,
ਨਾਲੇ ਇੱਕ ਹੋਰ ਵੀ ਹੈ ਜਿੱਦਾਂ ਦੀ ਤੁਹਾਡੀ ਸੰਗਤ ਹੈ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਉਦਾਂ ਦੀ ਸੰਗਤ ਮਿਲ ਜਾਂਦੀ ਹੈ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਸ਼ਰਾਬ ਪੀਣ ਵਾਲੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਝੱਟ ਸ਼ਰਾਬ ਪੀਣ ਵਾਲੇ ਲੱਭਦੇ ਆ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਮਾੜੀ ਸੰਗਤ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਝੱਟ ਮਾੜੀ ਸੰਗਤ ਲੱਭਦੇ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਚੰਗੀ ਸੰਗਤ ਹੈ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਝੱਟ ਹੁਣ ਕੁੜੀ ਸਟੇਜ ਮੂੰਹ ਹੋਈ ਇੱਥੇ ਹੈ ਨਾ ਤੇ ਉਹ ਦੇਖ ਲਓ ਇੱਥੇ ਮੂੰਹ ਹੋਈ ਕਿਸੇ ਨੂੰ ਜਾਣਦੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਸੀ ਆਉਂਦੀ ਨੂੰ ਸਾਰੀ ਸੰਗਤ ਵਧੀਆ ਮਿਲ ਗਈ ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਚਾਹੁੰਦੀ ਇਦਾਂ ਦੀ ਸੀਗੀ ਹੈ ਨਾ ਜੇ ਉਦਾਂ ਦੇ ਫਰੈਂਡ ਚਾਹੁੰਦੀ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਇਦਾਂ ਦੇ ਫਰੈਂਡ ਮਿਲ ਜਾਣੇ ਸੀਗੇ ਤੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਆਪਣਾ ਜਿੱਦਾਂ ਤੁਹਾਡੀ ਸੋਚਣੀ ਆ ਬਹਿਣੀ ਉੱਠਣੀ ਉਦਾਂ ਹੀ ਸੰਗਤ ਮਿਲ ਜਾਣੀ
And so if you're not ready, like who's ever ready to like Bibi said, who's ever ready to die, right?
You know, I learned this in one of the camps. They said, if you want to do something good, don't think about it. Just do it. But if you want to do something bad, hold yourself and think about it. That's the rule you always follow. Then another thing I learned was the main concern with Nojwans is मैं रैत किवे रखूँगा
हाँ जी
मैं रैत किवे रखूँगा पंच का कार किवे रखूँगा केस किवे रखूँगा but rat is going to save you. You're thinking about keeping a rat, but the rat is going to save you. So Guruji will make you keep the rat. Then we always forget the power of ardas. If you do ardas, let's say in your heart you don't have love for Gursikhi, let's say you don't have it. Go before Guruji and ask him, Guruji, put the love in me. What are they talking about? Amrit Ras? I don't know what's Amrit Ras. I don't know, I can't wake up at Amrit Vela. Go to Guruji and ask him. We ask for lots of things. Go and ask him and do it with faith. Then you'll see your life will start to turn. You know? So good things, don't think. Just do it. There was one girl, when I was in a camp in Malaysia, she wanted to take Amrit. And she didn't practice. It was a spontaneous thing that she wanted to take. Mom didn't let her take it. On the way back from camp, she met an accident, she died. Then her mom regretted. Her soul, there was a calling for her. You know, so good things, don't wait. Just do it. Don't worry about husbands, what kind of husbands you're going to get. I've witnessed in my own eyes. A Amritari girl always gets an Amritari husband. I had a friend who didn't want to take Amrit. She said, I'll wait until I get married. Udan da milya sharab pine wala. Aja tak she cannot take Amrit. She said, I regret it. So Vichi is saying the right thing. You said the right thing. Go ahead and just do it. Yeah.
My parents did the same thing with me. Like, can't get Amritari because, like, what if you marry, like, when you get married? Stuff like that.
See, my parents did that too. My parents did that too. They were like, no, what if the person you marry is an Amritari? And I'm like, then you don't get it. Then you don't get it. Then you don't get it. You don't understand me then. You know, you don't understand that I'm not looking for a non-Amritari. I want someone who understands me. That's the role of a husband or a wife. They will understand you and support you. They'll accept you for who you are. And so
ਐਂਡ ਨਾਲ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਸਹਿਯੋਗ ਆ ਆਪਣੇ ਵਿਆਹ ਹੁੰਦੇ ਨੇ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਹੀ ਬਣੇ ਆ ਇਟਸ ਨਾਟ ਯੂਰ ਪੇਰੈਂਟਸ ਹੈਂਡ ਇਟਸ ਨਾਟ ਯੂਰ ਹੈਂਡ ਇਹ ਤਾਂ ਗੁਰੂ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਨੇ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਹੀ ਕੀਤਾ ਫਿਰ ਜੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਅੰਮ੍ਰਿਤ ਪਾਣ ਕਰ ਲਿਆ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਅੰਮ੍ਰਿਤਧਾਰੀ ਨਾਲ ਵਿਆਹ ਕਰਾਉਂਗੇ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਅੰਮ੍ਰਿਤ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈਗਾ ਛਕਿਆ ਨਾ.
And you know what's okay, so I have another story about like the opposite. So if you're not Amritari, but you're looking for an Amritari, right? So my brother just got married. Literally his wife we both partook in Amrit the same day, right? And they just got married. And my brother met his wife like a year and a half ago. And she was an Amritari then. But somehow he saw the potential in her and, you know, kind of guided her through, you know, it's okay to be Amritari. It's like, you know, made her fall in love with Guru. And now she's Amritari and she wears it this time. Like, you're talking about like a professional corporate girl, you know, part of the business world. And then she met my brother and then like now they're married and now they're like Gursik wedding. And so it depends both on your perspective as well as the person you're getting married to.
This is a beautiful story in Melbourne. I went for the Melbourne Smargam and I saw this Gora Sikh and a Punjabi girl. And they were talking to me, they said, we are here to take Amrit. And I said, did I tell you the story? Can I share it with everybody, you think? So what happened was, then I asked them, how did you meet and things like that. So she was a Punjabi girl, case katte si, Gora vi monna si, pura clean shaven siga. They fall in love and they wanted to get married. And what happened, the Gora asked her, I want to get married in your tradition, the Punjabi Sikh tradition. And they went and spoke to the Gyanis and everybody, and Gyani ji ne badi soni sikkhiya diti ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਕਿ ਅੰਮ੍ਰਿਤ ਛਕ ਕੇ ਗੁਰੂ ਵਾਲੇ ਬਣ ਕੇ ਫਿਰ ਆਨੰਦ ਕਾਰਜ ਕਰਨਾ. ਗੋਰਾ ਤਿਆਰ ਹੋ ਗਿਆ ਅੰਮ੍ਰਿਤ ਛਕਣ ਨੂੰ, ਕਸ਼ਹਿਰਾ ਪਾ ਲਿਆ, ਦਾੜਾ ਪ੍ਰਕਾਸ਼, ਦਸਤਾਰ. And he told the girl, you want to marry me? Tu vi kes rakh, kashara pa, kakar sita. And they were there to take Amrit before their wedding. So you guys want to get married? You have to take Amrit first. Because Nanda Karaj is only meaningful if you take Amrit. If not, it's just a ritual. Pakhanda, you're just taking, Pakarma for what? So you have to take Amrit. And then I came to know after I spoke to the BBG, I spoke to her and she said, I'm the only one in my family who's not an Amritari. You see how Guruji brought her back and got her to take Amrit. Sikhi is that beautiful. Yeah.
ਪਰ ਲੌਂਗ ਟਾਈਮ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਜੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਅੰਮ੍ਰਿਤਪਾਨ ਨਹੀਂ ਕੀਤਾ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਆਨੰਦ ਕਾਰਜ ਨਹੀਂ ਸੀ ਕਰਦੇ ਅੰਮ੍ਰਿਤ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਛਕਣਾ ਪੈਂਦਾ ਸੀਗਾ ਤੇ ਫਿਰ ਆਨੰਦ ਕਾਰਜ ਹੁੰਦੇ ਸੀ
If you think about it, if you're giving your head to Guru Sahib, you don't think Guru Sahib will take care of you, right? If you give so much to Guru Sahib will give you take care of everything.
ਸਾਡੀ ਪਰਸਨਲ ਸਟੋਰੀ ਆ ਵਾਈਫ ਹੈ ਆਪਣੀ ਮੇਰੀ ਇੰਗਲੈਂਡ ਦੀ ਬੋਰਨ ਆ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਮੰਮੀ ਸ਼ੀ ਇਜ਼ ਦੇਅਰ ਜਾਂ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਸ਼ਿਕੰਟ ਉਹ ਜਦੋਂ ਛੋਟੀ ਜੰਗ ਸੀਗੀ ਨਾ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਅੰਗਰ ਉਹ ਇੰਡੀਆ ਦੇ ਮੁੰਡੇ ਨਾਲ ਵਿਆਹ ਕਰਾਉਣਾ ਨੋ ਵੇ
ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਦੱਸਿਆ ਸੀ ਮੈਨੂੰ
ਨੋ ਵੇ ਇੰਡੀਆ ਦੇ ਮੁੰਡੇ ਨਾਲ ਵਿਆਹ ਕਰਾਉਣਾ
She literally was like
clean shave and ਸਾਰਾ ਕੁਝ ਨਾ where she is now ਨਾ ਸੋ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਪ੍ਰਮਾਤਮਾ ਆ ਉਹ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਸਰਕਮਸਟੈਂਸਸ ਇਦਾਂ ਦੇ ਬਣ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਆ ਨਾ ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਤੁਹਾਡੀ ਬਹਿਣੀ ਉੱਠਣੀ ਕਰਨੀ ਸਾਰੀ ਕੁਝ ਗੁਰਸਿੱਖਾਂ ਵਾਲੀ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਗੁਰਸਿੱਖੀ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਗੁਰਸਿੱਖਾਂ 'ਚ ਬਹਿਣਾ ਤੇ ਗੁਰਸਿੱਖਾਂ 'ਚ ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਵਿਆਹ ਹੋਣਾ
And if like you don't, then it's like then you have to reevaluate like your standing with Guru and Gurmat. It's like
ਪੈਰੈਂਟਸ ਨਾਲ ਕਦੇ ਵੀ ਆਰਗੂ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਰੀਦਾ
no.
ਪੈਰੈਂਟਸ ਨੂੰ ਹਮੇਸ਼ਾ ਰਿਸਪੈਕਟ ਕਰਨਾ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਅਰਥ ਤੇ ਲਿਆਂਦਾ ਤੁਹਾਡੀ ਦੇਖਭਾਲ ਕੀਤੀ ਹੈ but they don't have the Sikhi understanding but you should always respect your parents okay but you should explain to them that good Sikhi is like that I wish to do it respectfully you know always
ਪਤਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈਗਾ
ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਪਤਾ ਨਹੀਂ
ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਕਰਦੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਪਤਾ ਹੀ ਆਪ ਨੂੰ ਨਹੀਂ ਪਤਾ ਹੈਗਾ they don't know ਉਹ ਤਾਂ ਚਾਹੁੰਦੇ ਵੀ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਚੰਗਾ ਬਣਾਉਣਾ ਚੰਗਾ ਸਾਡੀ ਕੁੜੀ ਦੀ ਗਾਹਾਂ ਜ਼ਿੰਦਗੀ ਜੇ ਅੰਮ੍ਰਿਤ ਛਕ ਲਿਆ ਪਤਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਿੱਦਾਂ ਦਾ ਕੋਈ ਟੱਕਰ ਹੋਇਆ ਇਦਾਂ ਨਾ ਹੋ ਜਾਵੇ but they don't know ਆਪ ਨੂੰ ਨਹੀਂ ਪਤਾ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ
Cool. Anything else? What else did we get from today's lecture?
Maybe next time you can bring your parents to the camp.
Oh yeah. No, I
Yeah.
brought my mom to.
Just tell them. ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਕੁਝ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਰਨਾ ਪੈਣਾ ਕੋਈ ਕੁਝ ਨਹੀਂ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਫੋਰਸ ਕਰੂਗਾ just listen. Just listen ਹੈ ਨਾ other people what they saying that's it. ਕੋਈ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਕੁਝ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਰਨਾ ਨਾ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਅੰਮ੍ਰਿਤ ਛਕਿਓ ਕੁਝ ਨਾ ਕਰਿਓ just come with me and ਤੁਸੀਂ feel ਤਾਂ ਕਰੋ ਜਾ ਕੇ.
They have to feel like they're a part of your life. Because I made that mistake. I completely fed off my parents from my life. I was like, let me go to the Gurdwara. And they'd be like, no, you have to stay at home. I'm like, I'm going without you, And now I realized I was completely at fault. It was my fault. I shut them off. And then they reacted in a predictable way. Okay, like, if I disrespect my mom, of course she's going to get angry, right? And so now, like, I took my mom to, I was giving a talk at a DC, at a Gurdwara, and I was talking about, like, once again, falling in love with Guru. And, I was talking for 20 minutes, and she came with me. Like, they paid for her flight, and, like, she came with me for the first time in all of my 2 years to a Gurmat-related thing. Samagam doesn't count, but outside of the Gurdwara, and, like, went with me on her free will. And there she was like, people respect you for being a Gursikh or like being on this path. And then she went home and was like, Thodi Kudi, like they're praising your Kudi for like this path. And I was like, finally, you understand. But then like my parents, their path is different,
ਇਹੀ ਮੈਂ ਵੀ ਕਹਿਣਾ ਚਾਹੁੰਦਾ ਸੀ ਜਿੱਦਾਂ ਹੁਣ ਆਪਾਂ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਅੰਮ੍ਰਿਤਧਾਰੀ ਜਾਂ ਨਹੀਂ ਅੰਮ੍ਰਿਤਧਾਰੀ ਨਾ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕਿਸੇ ਦਾ ਵੀ ਦਿਲ ਜਿੱਤਣਾ ਜਾਂ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕਿਸੇ ਨੂੰ ਵੀ ਆਪਣੇ ਨਾਲ ਆਪਣੇ ਵਿਚਾਰਾਂ ਨਾਲ ਘਾਲਣਾ ਚਾਹੋ ਲੜ ਕੇ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਰ ਸਕਦੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਚੰਗਾ ਕੰਮ ਕਰੋਗੇ ਚੰਗੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਆਪਣੇ ਮਾਪੇ ਦਾ ਕਹਿਣਾ ਮੰਨੋ ਇਹ ਨਹੀਂ ਰੋਂਗ ਵੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨਾਲ ਲੜਨਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈਗਾ ਪਰ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਰਿਸਪੈਕਟ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਉਹ ਰੱਖੋ ਪਰ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਬਟ ਯੂ ਹੈਵ ਟੂ ਡੂ ਪਰ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦਾ ਇਹ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈਗਾ ਤੈਨੂੰ ਲੜਨਾ ਹੀ ਪੈਣਾ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨਾਲ ਨਾ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨਾਲ ਆਰਗੂਮੈਂਟ ਕਰਨ ਦੀ ਲੋੜ ਹੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਜਦ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਚੰਗੇ ਕੰਮ ਕਰੋਗੇ ਚੰਗੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਬਾਣੀ ਨਾਲ ਲਾ ਕੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਫੀਲ ਹੋਊਗਾ ਵੀ ਸਾਡਾ ਬੱਚਾ ਚੰਗਾ ਆ ਦੈਨ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਪਤਾ ਲੱਗੂਗਾ ਵੀ ਜਿੱਦਾਂ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਆਪਣੀ ਸਟੋਰੀ ਹੈਗੀ ਆ
But this also brings up a great point. Your parents' journey is different than yours, right? I know it's a concern to like kids born in Amritari families, because sometimes when we're born into something, we often take it for granted.
Yeah.
We often end up blurring our own journey with our parents or the people around us. And I think I was just talking about this with a Benji, and she was like, so, like, we need to have sangat. And I'm like, yes, that is important to a point. You know, you need people. You need friends and family to validate you. But, like I said, what happens when you're alone? You should have some sort of your own relationship with Guru that is untouched by anyone, even your parents. So like, I know I'm not born in an Amritari family, right? I feel like if you have to fight for something, if you struggle for something, genuinely, you will value it more. Like the shaheeds that gave up their lives, if they were alive today, they would value freedom and the ability to be sovereign people more than we do. Because we're here, you know, it's okay for us to vote, it's okay for us to protest. But like, what about the shaheeds that couldn't protest? You know, they had to risk their lives to create change. They valued revolution, they valued Guru more than we did, right? Because they struggled for it. And same thing here. If you don't like struggle for your relationship with Guru, right? If you don't fight for it, no one is going to fight for it. No one's going to fight for you. You have to fight it yourself. And so that is a clear distinction. Sikhi is not lineage based, right? If you're born into an Amritari family, like, you know, it's okay to doubt things, right? You don't have to take everything with blind faith. Like, oh, there should never be an excuse like, oh, my parents do it, or my sangat does it, so I'm not going to question it. You have to question everything. You have to be like, you know, my path is different. What is Guru telling me? Maybe Guru's telling something to them, but what does that mean for me? It's okay to question the rituals and like the things we do, but the one thing we should never question is Guru, right? We can question like all the things we do, like, okay, so why do we mathate? Okay, so why do we do a khandpat this way? Why do we do seva this way? Why do we do simran this way? It's okay to question that, but you should never question simran as a Gurmat principle. You shouldn't question Guru as an authority, right?
ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਨੇ ਅਮਰਵੇਲਾ ਬਣਾਇਆ, ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਨੇ ਇਦਾਂ ਕੀਤਾ
Yeah. So it's okay to question, but
ਪਰ ਜੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕੁਐਸਚਨ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਮਨ ਵਿੱਚ ਹੈਗਾ ਹੈ ਨਾ, ਤੁਸੀਂ ਸੱਚੇ ਦਿਲੋਂ ਅਰਦਾਸ ਕਰੋ ਜਾਂ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਬਾਣੀ ਪੜ੍ਹਨ ਦੀ ਕੋਸ਼ਿਸ਼ ਕਰੋ, ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਆਪਣੇ ਆਪ ਉਹਦਾ ਮੇ ਵੀ ਥੋੜਾ ਟਾਈਮ ਲੱਗ ਜਾਊਗਾ, ਪਰ ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਉਹਦਾ ਆਨਸਰ ਆਪਣੇ ਆਪ ਮਿਲ ਜਾਣਾ। ਕਿ ਜੇ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਮਨ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਸ਼ਰਧਾ ਹੈ, ਗੁਰੂ ਦੇ ਪ੍ਰਤੀ ਪਿਆਰ ਆ, ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਗੁਰੂ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਜ਼ਰੂਰ ਆਨਸਰ ਦੇਊਗੇ। ਮੇ ਵੀ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਥਰੂ ਦੇਊਗੇ ਜਾਂ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਪੜ੍ਹ ਕੇ ਕਿਤੇ ਦੇਊਗੇ, ਕਿਸੇ ਨਾ ਕਿਸੇ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਆਨਸਰ ਉਹਦਾ ਮਿਲ ਜਾਣਾ। ਉਹ ਯਾਰ ਦਿਸ ਇਜ਼ ਮੇਰਾ ਕੁਐਸਚਨ ਕਲੀਅਰ ਹੋ ਗਿਆ।
So yeah, that was kind of, I think it's more prevalent in West Coast. I think because like where I'm from, there's not that many Gursikh families. So like I never get to interact with like Sikhs that have been a part of Sikhi since like the moment they were born or really young, right? And so it's really interesting to see that relationship here. It's very cool because it's different from what I came from. And yeah, like think of Guru Nanak.
ਨਹੀਂ ਮੈਂ ਇਹੀ ਕਹਿਣਾ ਚਾਹੁੰਦਾ ਸੀ, ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਬਾਲ ਕੱਟੇ ਹੁੰਦੇ ਸੀ ਨਾ, ਜਦੋਂ ਸਾਡਾ ਵਿਆਹ ਹੋਇਆ ਸੀ, ਅਸੀਂ ਜਦੋਂ ਵੀ ਕਿਤੇ ਕਾਰ ਵਿੱਚ ਜਾਣਾ ਹੈ ਨਾ, ਕਹਿਣਾ ਪਾਠ ਕਰੀਏ, ਉਹ ਸਿਰ ਨੰਗਾ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਹੈ ਨਾ, ਜਿਹੜਾ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਬਾਲ ਕੱਟਦੇ ਆ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਸਿਰ ਨੰਗਾ ਆ, ਅਤੇ ਇੱਕ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਸ਼ਰਾਬ ਅਤੇ ਮੀਟ ਆ ਸਭ ਤੋਂ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਆਪਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਗੁਰੂ ਨਾਲ ਤੋੜਦੇ ਆ। ਬਹੁਤ ਵਾਰੀ ਹੋਊਗਾ ਬੰਦਾ ਕਹਿੰਦਾ ਉਹ ਮੈਂ ਖਾ ਲਿਆ ਜਾਂ ਪੀ ਲਿਆ, ਮੈਂ ਗੁਰਦੁਆਰੇ ਨਹੀਂ ਜਾਣਾ, ਅਤੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਖਾਧਾ ਪੀਤਾ ਹੈ ਜਾਂ ਕੁਛ ਨਾ। ਸੋ ਇਸ ਕਰਕੇ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਆਪਣੇ ਕੇਸ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਆਪਣੇ ਰੱਖਣੇ ਆ ਅਤੇ ਆਪਾਂ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਸੰਭਾਲ ਕਰਨੀ ਆ ਅਤੇ ਕਿਸ ਕੀ ਜਿਉਣੀ ਆ, ਬਹੁਤ ਇੰਪੋਰਟੈਂਟ ਹੈ।
ਸਿੱਖੀ ਨਾਲ ਕਮਾਉਣੀ ਪੈਂਦੀ ਹੈ।
Yeah, like we have to earn it. You know, the Shabad we were talking about, you earn the Shabad Taksal, right? Sachi Shabad Taksal, you earn it. They don't hand it to you. like I said, it's not handed to you. No one is gonna give you guru unless you go out and look for guru yourself, right? And then you actively search for nam, and then
Live's the key. Live it.
live it. It gets easier. Like I'm noticing now.
ਸਾਡਾ ਲਾਈਫ ਸਟਾਈਲ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਉਹ
Yeah.
ਲਾਈਫ ਸਟਾਈਲ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਉਹ ਇਦਾਂ ਦਾ ਹੋ ਜਾਂਦਾ ਲਾਈਫ
It's like
ਸਟਾਈਲ ਇਜ਼ ਲਾਈਫ ਸਟਾਈਲ
It's a lifestyle.
Yeah.
It's like wearing those. You get new shoes, and it takes a while for you to like break into them. Same thing. Like you get into the key and it kind of feels awkward at first, and then you're like, okay, I kind of know what to do. And then when you start living it, when you start like being around guru, like most of your life, it will just become second nature. Like we were talking in the lecture, repeated habits become nature, become a part of your personality. They become a part of you. They become you. You become gurmat, and there would be no other place for you to go, right? So
ਸਵੇਰ ਨੂੰ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਉੱਠਣਾ ਆਪਣੇ ਆਪ ਹੀ ਔਰ ਜੋ ਤੁਹਾਡੀ ਜੋ ਰੋਜ਼ ਕਰਨ ਆਪਣੇ ਆਪ ਹੀ ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਉਹ ਸਿਸਟਮ ਬਣ ਜਾਣਾ ਸਿਮਰਨ ਕਰਨ ਦਾ ਤੇ ਪਾਠ ਕਰਨ ਦਾ ਤੇ
You need an alarm clock anymore. And there's
I know. I live on. I literally have like 8 alarms. We're on all different levels, right? Not levels, stepping stones. Stepping stones. Levels imply a hierarchy. Any more questions? Hanji, you had questions? No? Acha. Hanji, that's not Hanji, don't you have a question? I?
Don't you have a question?
Don't I have a question?
Keep asking us.
I have a question. Have you guys been away from Sangat ever?
Yeah.
Yeah?
I don't know.
Hanji? What were you saying?
He's away from Sangat. What?
No, have you ever been away from like
Does he live in Vancouver?
Sangat?
luckily not.
There's even go to. Sorry, everywhere. Sangat's everywhere.
You can't get away from Sangat.
Sorry, everywhere.
Oh yeah, Sangat plays.
I know what you mean. I know what you mean. Yesterday, remember I told you.
Spending 2 years.
2 years away
Without
from
Gurdwara.
Sangat, nothing. I didn't speak Punjabi. I was in Australia doing my degree, and I didn't have a sit in the mirror and look at yourself. To get the Sikh Sangat. And I used to dress up my bana, my dastar. I used to look in the mirror and say, that's my Sangat. It was a very difficult time for me. It was so difficult. I don't want anyone to go through that. It was not good. Yeah.
Where did you go?
Huh?
Where was it?
I was in Australia, in Warrnambool. You know, Warrnambool is the smallest town in Victoria. I was there.
No Sangat?
No Sangat. Then I used to go to church because I missed the congregation thing. But the more I went there, the more I missed Gurdwara, Tolki, Vajja, Langar, you know.
YouTube.
I missed that. We didn't have YouTube,
No
we didn't have
internet.
emails, no internet, nothing. And only had 6 cassettes of S.D.O. Mohinder Singh, you know, the Akant. I used to play that so loud. बेचारे गोरे मेरे पासे से पर उन्होंने कुछ नहीं किया वाइगुरु वाइगुरु की करिए देख रहा That's all I had. Yeah. Kept doing my Saj part.
Yeah.
Saj part, keep it going. Yeah.
I have never read all of Guru Granth Sahib. I haven't read Guru Sahib.
No, you have. You know, I know one thing. In my life, I had faced so many difficulties. And Paisa Pai Rajinder Singh, you know, UK wale jo badi lammi daadi hundi se ona di. Chalda Vahir. He used to come to Malaysia so often. I was young like you people. And used to follow him everywhere. Chalda Vahir. We travel from town to town. We do Kirtan. It was so good. And he used to tell me one thing. He said, if you ever faced with any difficulty, Saj Part rakho to Saj Part karo. And I used 100% all the time. By the time I reach Madh, my problem is solved. That's how powerful Gurbani is. So that every time you face a problem, do part. Don't stop. It's difficult. Keep doing it until you feel good from inside. And you find you'll get your answer all the time.
Never been to Saj Part. Never been to Never been to a Rensvai.
December. Vancouver.
Yeah, I'll come to that
Next
one.
week.
Yeah. What date is it?
Saturday, 29.
Actually, all next week, all week, ਸਾਰੇ program
एक ही जगह meeting है.
जिन्हें ने पाठ कभी नहीं किया एटलीस्ट हुक्मनामा लिया करो ये जरूर करना रोज
6th class. Hanji.
You know that how you said that children who are born into, born into Ramadan families?
Yeah, like Sikh is not about lineage, but like just being involved in Sikhi ever since they were little.
Yeah. Like, don't you think we should kind of give them a choice?
Yeah, Sikhi's a choice. Sikhi's a choice. Oh man. Yeah, Sikhi's a choice. You're not born a Sikh. You make the decision if you want to adopt that path or not. Just like a doctor's son can't be qualified as a doctor unless he himself decides he wants to go to medical school. He himself takes the test. He himself passes, studies, and finally gets his degree, right? Same thing with Sikhi. It's a choice, right? Children, I realize this now. Our children, whenever we have them, they're not ours, right? They are gurus, they're vaikus, and where their path leads them, they will go. And yes, I want my children to be hopefully, stay attached to Sikhi, but if they don't, then it's okay. Guru Nanak Dev Ji's sons, they weren't made guru. I don't remember the Sakhi, but I think they were doing manmat stuff, and they Guru Nanak Dev Ji kicked them out.
In Gurbani, they criticized him.
Hanji. And so they made a choice. Guru Nanak Dev Ji gave them a choice. He wasn't expecting them to become Gursikhs.
And ਜਿਹੜਾ ਆਪਾਂ ਅੰਮ੍ਰਿਤ ਦੀ ਪਾਨ ਕਰਦੇ ਜਾਂ ਅੰਮ੍ਰਿਤ ਦੀ ਦਾਤ ਲੈਂਦੇ ਆ is like ਦਾਖਲਾ ਆ ਆਪਣਾ ਜਿੱਦਾਂ ਕੋਈ ਆਪਾਂ ਸਟੱਡੀ ਕਰਦੇ ਆ ਸੋ ਉਸ ਤੋਂ ਬਾਅਦ ਵਿੱਚ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਜੀਵਨ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਸਟਾਰਟ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਵੀ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਉੱਤੇ ਚੱਲਣਾ ਵੀ ਹੈ ਨਾ ਆਪਣੇ ਕਮਾਉਣੀ ਆ
Some people they say ਉਹ ਤਾਂ ਅੰਮ੍ਰਿਤ ਦਾ ਉਹ ਪੁੱਠੇ ਕੰਮ ਕਰਦਾ ਹੈ they expect you to become a Brahmgyani. It's like some magical switch that turns on. बस हो गया काम.
Like I said, you don't randomly wake up and say, I'm a Brahmgyani today, never going back. You don't say that.
ਕਈ ਇਦਾਂ ਵੀ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਵੀ ਅਸੀਂ ਸਾਡਾ ਮਨ ਨਹੀਂ ਹਾਲੇ ਸਹੀ ਹੈਗਾ ਅਸੀਂ ਰੈਡੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈਗੇ ਜੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਅੰਮ੍ਰਿਤ ਪਾਨ ਕਰਕੇ ਬਾਅਦ ਵਿੱਚ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕਮਾਉਣਾ ਆ ਸਿੱਖੀ ਨੂੰ ਕਮਾਉਣਾ ਆ ਤੁਸੀਂ
Amrit is
it's like a
first step
into like registering for kindergarten.
Yeah.
You're registering for kindergarten. Yes. Hanji, it's registering for kindergarten. That's it. And what I heard from an elder Gursikh, he was like, it's a promise to Guru Sahib. It's a promise, right? And whether or not it's kept is not yours to worry about. Guru Sahib will keep the promise. You just have to make it. It's like Guru Sahib's already signed a contract and he's waiting for you to sign it. And then the rest will happen on its own. So yeah.
Not sure, Amma Shakna, Ni Shakna, just wear your red first and see. Wear the kashera, wear the kirpan, wear the kanga, do your part and you see what change your life comes through. Automatically you start to see the difference. Just practice first,
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Pehla raat rakho.
Make sure you're able to keep it. Only keep Amrit and then a week later.
And ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਜੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਰੱਖਣ ਲੱਗ ਪਿਆ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਆਪਣੇ ਆਪ ਹੀ ਪਤਾ ਲੱਗ ਜਾਣਾ ਵੀ ਉਹ ਆਏ
Difference
I did that for a year. Yeah. From March to my Amrit Sanchar. Obviously, I wasn't keeping all of my dahas because I had to remove my facial hair. But I had my kakars on at all times. I started doing Nitnem. I started waking up at Amrit Vela, and I like I said, I felt like an Amritari. I was like, that was my facial hair removal was the one thing that was like the blockage against Guru. And then I was like, you know what? I took a stand. I was like, you know what? I don't need your permission. I'm just gonna do it. I took literally did our das, and I was like, if it took them, left it all to Guru Sahib, and it happened. And it just shows how powerful once you decide, take that first step, then you will take a million towards you. And you don't need to worry about anything else. Any more questions? I like this. This is a very engaging conversation. I'm learning a lot. Andy, you have a question?
ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕੋਈ ਨਹੀਂ ਪੁੱਛਣਾ ਸਾਰਾ ਕਲੀਅਰ ਹੈ
You have a question? You have a comment? Anything that hit you during camp that you...
ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕੁਝ ਕਹਿਣਾ ਚਾਹੁੰਦੇ ਹਾਂਜੀ
If you want to take Amrit, you have to ask your parents. Like, you don't have to, like...
It's a good if you do and they say yes. If they say no, then you do have to do what you
Maybe
do.
somehow you can convince them or
So,
something.
like, if you take Amrit and go against your parents' decision, would that be like that?
It depends on your relationship with your parents.
And how old you are.
And how old you are. And if you're...
A girl or
That, no.
What?
No.
we just discussed this earlier.
What was that?
If the parents say if you're a girl, you're not going to get married to a boy. That's what I meant.
You know, okay, no, it's funny because if you go out to like a Punjabi guy nowadays, like a typical Punjabi guy, you will see them getting their eyebrows done, waxing their chest, you know? Yeah, no, I've seen it. And all, like, bulimia is a rising occurrence. You know, typical girl feminine problems that we often put on guards and females in general, like body image issues or, you know, just like relationships. It's all coming back to men now as well. You see them struggling for being fit and muscular and fitting that stereotype as well. And hair. You know, I've read so many blogs where things are like, I don't know if I can get married because I have a beard, and I'm like, do you not realize you have like half the font like...
So many people.
Yeah. I was like, are you looking? Like, where are you looking? There's like cars everywhere. You know, you just gotta know where to go. It's ridiculous. You know, it's the same difficulties, Viji. Every time, you know, someone wants to get off of the mainstream path and go on the path less traveled, there's always struggles no matter who you are.
You know, ਜਦੋਂ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਪੇਰੈਂਟਸ ਦੀ ਗੱਲ ਕੀਤੀ, I think if you can convince them, ਜਿੱਦਾਂ ਬਾਣੀ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਵੀ ਸਾਡਾ ਗੁਰੂ ਤਾਂ ਆਹ ਕਹਿੰਦਾ, ਤੁਸੀਂ ਆਹ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਆ, who I should listen, ਹੈਨਾ? ਤੁਸੀਂ ਗੁਰੂ ਨੂੰ ਤਾਂ ਮੱਥਾ ਵੀ ਟੇਕੀ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਆ, ਪਰ ਗੁਰੂ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਗੁਰੂ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਕਹਿੰਦਾ ਕੀ ਸਿੱਖਿਆ ਕੀ ਦਿੰਦਾ, ਉਹ ਆਪਾਂ ਪੜ੍ਹਦੇ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈਗੇ, ਹੈਨਾ?
ਪਰ ਮੈਂ ਸੋਚ ਰਹੀ ਹਾਂ ਜਦ ਬੱਚਾ ਰਹਿਤ ਰੱਖਦਾ ਆ, ਬਾਣੀ ਪੜ੍ਹਦਾ ਆ, ਜਿੰਨਾ ਚਿਰ ਪੈਰੈਂਟਸ ਨੂੰ ਦਿਸਦਾ ਆ ਕਿ ਮੇਰਾ ਬੱਚਾ ਕਰ ਰਿਹਾ ਹੈ, ਉਹਨੇ ਹਾਂ ਤਾਂ ਕਰ ਦੇਣੀ, ਕਰ ਦੇਣੀ ਹੈ।
ਤੁਸੀਂ ਹੁਣ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਐਗਜ਼ਾਮਪਲ ਆ, ਤੁਸੀਂ ਦਸਤਾਰ ਸਜਾ ਦੇ, ਤੁਸੀਂ ਆਪਣੇ ਕਕਾਰ ਸਾਰੇ ਰੱਖਦੇ ਆ, ਤੁਸੀਂ ਸਵੇਰ ਨੂੰ ਉੱਠ ਕੇ ਪਾਠ ਕਰਦੇ ਆ, ਤੁਸੀਂ ਜਿੱਦਾਂ ਭੈਣ ਜੀ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਨਾ, ਤੁਸੀਂ ਥੋੜਾ ਚਿਰ ਕਰੋ, ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਮਾਂ ਪਿਓ ਆਪੇ ਕਹੋਗੇ।
ਤੇ ਅਰਦਾਸ ਕਰੋ, ਅਰਦਾਸ
ਠੀਕ ਹੈ, ਮੈਂ ਅੰਮ੍ਰਿਤ ਨਹੀਂ ਛਕਣਾ, ਪਰ ਯੂ ਕੈਨਟ ਸਟਾਪ ਮੀ ਫॉर ਇਹ ਚੀਜ਼ਾਂ ਤੋਂ ਸਟਾਪ ਕਰ ਜਾਂਦੀ ਹੈ।
Any story this one? Okay, my brother's 15, right? And I was vacuuming, you know, that was the time I had my kakars. I wasn't Amritari, but I had my kakars and I was wearing the stars, vacuuming, just like Kirtan blasting. And he's like, he interrupts me. He's like, hey, Bibi. I'm like, Hanji, dasso. And he's like, so you're on this Sikhi path, right? And I was like, yeah. Like, sure. And he's like, so... it's okay if you marry like a Gora Gursik, right? He just has to be a Gursik. And I'm like, yeah, like you get it, you know? And just that kind of conversation we had, it's like, because I was doing me, right? I was doing what I had committed myself to do, and like they automatically start treating you like Faisal said, right? You know, people automatically start treating you differently because they know you have a certain standard, right?
I think ਥੋੜਾ ਜਿਹਾ ਇਹ ਜਿੱਦਾਂ ਹੁਣ ਐਸੇ ਇੱਥੇ ਆਣ ਕੇ ਨਾ ਜਦੋਂ 13-14 ਸਾਲ ਦੇ ਥੋੜਾ ਜਿਹਾ ਐਕਸਕਿਊਜ਼ ਵੀ ਬਣ ਜਾਂਦਾ ਪੇਰੈਂਟਸ ਦਾ, ਹੈ ਨਾ? if you are strong nobody can stop you. if you are strong, ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਆਪਣਾ ਮਨ ਹੋਣਾ ਚਾਹੀਦਾ, ਯੈਸ, ਜਿੱਦਾਂ ਹੁਣ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਦਾ ਸੀਗਾ ਮੈਂ ਕਰਨਾ ਹੀ ਹੈ, that's it. ਪਰ ਇਹ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈਗਾ ਵੀ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਆਪਣੇ ਮਾਪੇ ਨਾਲ ਲੜਨਾ ਹੀ ਆ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨਾਲ ਆਰਗੂਮੈਂਟ ਹੀ ਕਰਨਾ ਨੋ ਯੂ not have to do that.
I think I was stalking Simon a lot, and there was this story about I think it was like a smagam in France. This 7-year-old god didn't even know that Gurmat was like my Umar Shakana. She went up to I think her dad or an uncle was like dad, right?
Yeah,
and dad was like Dad, why don't you keep a dadi? Why don't you take Umrat as well? Because you know Guru did all these all this.
He was divorced.
Yeah.
And he was like
ਖਾਲਸਾ ਸਕੂਲ
cigarettes and stuff.
ਖਾਲਸਾ ਸਕੂਲ ਦੇ ਬੱਚਿਆਂ ਨਾਲ ਬਹੁਤ ਇੱਦਾਂ ਹੋਈ ਹੈ ਨਾ ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਸਕੂਲੇ ਉਹ ਸਿੱਖਦੇ ਆ ਵੀ ਸਿੱਖਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਸ਼ਰਾਬ ਨਹੀਂ ਪੀਣੀ ਚਾਹੀਦੀ ਮੀਟ ਨਹੀਂ ਖਾਣਾ ਚਾਹੀਦਾ ਜੇ ਉਹ ਸੈਂਪਲ ਜਾ ਕੇ ਘਰ ਪੁੱਛਦੇ ਆ ਵੀ ਡੈਡੀ ਆਪਣੇ ਗੁਰੂ ਦਾ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਆ ਨਾ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਸ਼ਰਾਬ ਪੀ ਲੈਂਦੇ ਆ ਨਾ ਸੋ ਵੀ ਆਰ ਸਿੱਖ ਔਰ ਵਾਟ ਹੈ ਨਾ
Yeah. No, the children have a big influence on their parents. I've seen this, right? Because our parents want to be good role models, you know. They want to be the best parent. They will make certain sacrifices. That you shouldn't doubt that. But it's the way you approach things and the way you handle it that makes a difference.
And other thing is ਤੁਹਾਡੇ parents ਚਾਹੇ ਅੰਮ੍ਰਿਤਧਾਰੀ ਹੈ ਚਾਹੇ ਨਹੀਂ ਅੰਮ੍ਰਿਤਧਾਰੀ ਪਰ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਮਾਪੇ ਆ ਨਾ ਪੇਰੈਂਟਸ ਆ ਉਹ ਆਪਣੇ ਬੱਚੇ ਦਾ ਕਦੀ ਵੀ ਬੁਰਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਸੋਚਦੇ ਜੋ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਸਟਾਪ ਕਰਦੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਪਤਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈਗਾ ਪਰ ਮੈਂ ਕਿਤੇ ਪੜ੍ਹਦਾ ਸੀਗਾ ਵੀ ਹੈ ਨਾ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਮਾਂ ਆ ਸਾਰੀ ਦੁਨੀਆ ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਸਾਥ ਛੱਡ ਜਾਊਗੀ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਮਾਂ ਆ ਉਹ ਕਦੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਛੱਡਦੀ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕਿਸੇ ਨੂੰ ਨਾ ਕਤਲ ਵੀ ਕਰ ਦਿੰਦੇ ਆ ਮਾਰ ਵੀ ਦਿੰਦੇ ਜਾਂ ਹੋਰ ਕੋਈ ਗਲਤ ਕੰਮ ਕਰ ਦਿੰਦੇ ਆ ਤੁਹਾਡੀ ਮਾਂ ਫੇਰ ਵੀ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਆ ਉਹ ਐਂਡ ਤੇ ਆਣ ਕੇ ਤੁਹਾਡੀ ਹੈਲਪ ਕਰੂਗੀ ਵੀ ਇਹਨੂੰ ਬਖਸ਼ ਦਿਓ ਮਾਫੀ ਮੰਗ ਲਾ ਤੂੰ ਛੱਡ ਦਿਓ ਇਹਨੂੰ ਹੈ ਨਾ
It's really funny because in Gurbani, Guru said talk to Ma, why should I forget, Vaheguru? Tell me, always kind of a silent rebellion against, especially the mother figure. And it's funny because, Guru Nanak Dev Ji was born into a Hindu family, and they were probably like, what is this kid doing, And if Guru Nanak Dev Ji can come out of that and affect so many people, so can we.
ਪਰ ਇੱਥੇ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਵੀ ਗੁਰੂ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਮਾਤਾ ਨੇ ਗੁਰੂ ਨਾਨਕ ਦੇਵ ਨੂੰ ਜਨਮ ਦਿੱਤਾ ਹੋਗਾ ਸੀ ਮਸਟ ਵੀ ਕੋਈ ਭਗਤੀ ਤਾਂ ਹੋਊਗੀ ਜਾਂ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਐਡੇ ਮਹਾਂਪੁਰਸ਼ ਨੂੰ ਜਨਮ ਦਿੱਤਾ ਹੈ ਨਾ she must be blessed with something,
Yeah, but his father did slap him.
His father was fun.
But something is just to make up stories.
I mean, but still, you can imagine our gurus were fathers, friends, right? And they lost.
ਪਰ ਇੱਦਾਂ ਦਾ ਇੱਕ ਮੈਂ ਵੀ ਸੁਣਿਆ ਵੀ ਉਹ ਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਬਾਅਦ ਵਿੱਚ ਜਦੋਂ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਪਿਤਾ ਜੀ ਗਾਹਾਂ ਜਦੋਂ ਗੁਰੂ ਨਾਨਕ ਦੇਵ ਜੀ ਗੁਰੂ ਬਣ ਗਏ ਸੀਗੇ ਤੇ ਉਹ ਪਤਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਮੱਥਾ ਟੇਕਣ ਲੱਗੇ ਸੀਗੇ ਆਪਣੇ ਉਹਨੇ ਡੈਡੀ ਨੂੰ ਮੱਥਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਟੇਕਣ ਦਿੱਤਾ ਸੀਗਾ ਉਹ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਸੀਗੇ ਵੀ ਭਾਵੇਂ ਮੈਂ ਜਿੱਦਾਂ ਮਰਜ਼ੀ ਸਾਰੀ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਗੁਰੂ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਆ ਪਰ ਤੂੰ ਮੇਰਾ
no matter what you turn out to be, you will always be the little kid. My mom still sees me as I'm 5.
ਜਿਹੜੇ ਗੁਰੂ ਨਾਨਕ ਦੇਵ ਜੀ ਮੈਂ ਕਿਤੇ ਸੁਣੀ ਸੀ ਕਿ ਪਿਛਲੇ ਜਨਮ ਵਿੱਚ ਇਹ ਬੰਦੇ ਨੇ ਬਹੁਤ ਭਗਤੀ ਕੀਤੀ ਸੀਗੀ ਮਹਿਤਾ ਕਾਲੂ ਨੇ ਪਿਛਲੇ ਜਨਮ ਵਿੱਚ ਤੇ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਬੜਾ ਖੁਸ਼ ਹੋਇਆ ਸੀ ਤੇ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਪੁੱਛਿਆ ਸੀ ਮੰਗ ਜੋ ਮੰਗਣਾ ਉਹਨੇ ਕਿਹਾ ਸੀ ਮੈਂ ਚਾਹੁੰਦਾ ਤੂੰ ਮੇਰੇ ਘਰ ਜਨਮ ਲਾਓ Guru, God said, I will, because I will not turn it down. But ਤੂੰ ਕਦੇ ਵੀ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਪਹਿਚਾਨ ਨਹੀਂ ਸਕਦਾ ਅੱਦਾਂ ਗੱਲ ਹੋਈ ਸੀ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ That's why Guru Nanak Ji was born. Mehta Kalu never recognized him. ਅੱਦਾਂ ਮੈਂ ਸੁਣਿਆ ਸੀ ਕਿ
Anji, what if you forgot to tell your parents that you took Amrit and you were working at a store that where they sold meat and liquor and you had to work?
I feel like this is a
How do you forget?
How do you forget your own experience?
ਨਹੀਂ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਪੇਰੈਂਟਸ ਨੂੰ ਪਤਾ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਆਪਣੇ ਸੋ ਯੂਰ ਪੇਰੈਂਟਸ ਡੋਨਟ ਨੋ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਅੰਮ੍ਰਿਤਪਾਨ ਕੀਤਾ ਹੈ ਨਾ
But they knew you had to start.
ਪਰ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਕਦੀ ਇਦਾਂ ਤਾਂ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਦੀ ਕਿਹਾ ਮੈਂ ਛਕਿਆ ਜਾਂ ਨਹੀਂ ਛਕਿਆ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਦੀ ਪੁੱਛਿਆ ਪੁੱਛਿਆ ਨਹੀਂ ਦੱਸ ਓਕੇ ਜਦੋਂ ਨਹੀਂ ਜੇ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਪੁੱਛੂਗੇ ਫਿਰ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਝੂਠ ਨਾ ਬੋਲੋ ਪਰ ਜਿੰਨਾ ਚਿਰ ਨਹੀਂ ਪੁੱਛਦੇ ਡੋਂਟ ਸੇ ਨਥਿੰਗ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਆਪਣੀ ਰਿਆਤ ਰੱਖੀ ਚਲੋ ਹਨਾ
ਨਹੀਂ ਉਹ ਹੁਣ ਤਾਂ ਪਤਾ ਹੀ ਚੱਲੇਗਾ ਪਰ ਜੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਜਿਵੇਂ ਇੱਕ ਸਾਡੇ ਕੋਲ ਇੱਕ ਸਟੋਰ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਸੀ ਨਾ ਉੱਥੇ ਕੰਮ ਕਰਦੀ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਸੀ ਮੈਂ ਤੇ ਸ਼ਰਾਬ ਵੇਚਦੇ ਹੁੰਦੇ ਸੀ ਤੇ ਮੀਟ ਕੱਟਦੇ ਹੁੰਦੇ ਸੀ ਉੱਥੇ ਮੈਂ ਕੰਮ ਕਰਦੀ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਸੀ ਕਾਊਟ ਹੋ ਕੇ
As Amritari, yes.
Yeah.
ਜਦੋਂ
I mean,
ਤੁਸੀਂ
there's
ਦੱਸੀ ਹੈ ਨਾ
certain things like personally.
ਉਹਦਾ
my
ਕੁਐਸਚਨ
dad-
ਇਹ ਆ ਵੀ ਮੇਰੇ ਪੇਰੈਂਟਸ ਨੂੰ ਪਤਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਮੈਂ ਅੰਮ੍ਰਿਤ ਛਕਿਆ ਸੋ when they asking me to work there what should do
You should
You
tell
take the
them.
humanitarian approach that as a human, I can't tolerate animals being killed.
Yeah.
Amritari Chatto, as a human, I can't.
you said there seems not right ਹੈ ਨਾ ਤੁਗਾ ਅਸੀਂ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਤਾਂ ਵੀ ਕਹਿ ਸਕਦੇ ਹੋ ਵੀ ਅਸੀਂ ਆਪ ਸਾਈਟ ਆਪ ਪੀਂਦੇ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈਗੇ
Anyone here has
that happened like last a few years ago like would I have to take Amrit again because of that like I didn't
Nee, you have to go fish. Fish is just for the puja crabs, right?
If you want to, you can go to the Panch Bed and be like, this is what happened. You know, I worked in a place where they sold moss and shab, and they can, you know, they're obviously not going to give you Amrit again, but they'll tell you, chalo, theek hai, tu jo hai, nichhe karna for this long, or you need to have over.
ਨਹੀਂ ਐਨੀ ਚੀਜ਼ ਇਹ ਇਕੱਲੀ ਹੱਕ ਵਿੱਚ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈਗਾ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕਦੀ ਵੀ ਆਪਣੇ ਮਨ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਸੋਚਦੇ ਆ ਵੀ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਡਾਊਟ ਆ ਵੀ ਆਈ ਡਿਡ ਸਮਥਿੰਗ ਰੋਂਗ ਜਾਂ ਆਹ ਰੋਂਗ ਆ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕਦੀ ਵੀ ਜਾ ਕੇ ਪੇਸ਼ ਹੋ ਕੇ ਆਪਣਾ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਪੇਸ਼ ਆਪਣਾ ਪੱਖ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਉਹ ਪੇਸ਼ ਕਰ ਸਕਦੇ ਹੋ ਵੀ ਇਫ ਯੂ ਹੈਵ ਐਨੀ ਡਾਊਟ ਵੀ ਉਹ ਦਿਸ ਇਜ਼ ਰਾਈਟ ਔਰ ਰੋਂਗ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕਿਸੇ ਨੂੰ ਦੱਸਣਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਚਾਹੁੰਦੇ ਬਾਈ ਦੇ ਲਈ ਕੀ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਨਾ ਯੂ ਆਲਵੇਜ਼ ਗੋ ਟੂ ਪੰਜ ਪਿਆਰੇ ਐਂਡ ਟੈਲ them that that's what I did ਵੀ ਇਜ਼ ਰੋਂਗ ਔਰ ਰਾਈਟ ਦੈਨ ਦੇ ਵਿਲ ਗਾਈਡ ਯੂ ਜੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਅੰਦਰੋਂ ਫੀਲ ਕਰਦੇ ਆ ਜੇ ਮੈਂ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਕਹਿੰਦਾ ਓਕੇ ਤੂੰ ਆ ਕਰਾਇਤ ਕੀਤੀ ਚੱਲ ਪੇਸ਼ ਹੋ that's not right.
You don't be scared of going, but it's always sort of like, it's not, you know, outreach for something big, like, you know, budget therapy that you hear. If you're a guru, you're going to go ask your guru a question, right? So it's nothing to be scared of, or nothing, not some big formal thing. It's a guru, and you got a question, and go and it's your, as a Sikh, it's your healer, right?
ਐਨੀ ਟਾਈਮ ਪੰਜਾਂ ਦੇ ਬਾਰੇ ਪੇਸ਼ ਹੋ ਕੇ ਜੇ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਮਨ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਅੰਮ੍ਰਿਤ ਸੰਚਾਰ ਹੋ ਰਿਹਾ ਜੇ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਮਨ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਕੋਈ ਡਾਊਟ ਆ ਜਾਂ ਕੋਈ ਕੁਐਸਚਨ ਆ ਜਾਂ ਤੈਨੂੰ ਲੱਗਦਾ ਮੈਂ ਕਰਾਇਤ ਹੈਗੀ ਕਿ ਨਹੀਂ ਕੀਤੀ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕਦੀ ਵੀ ਪੇਸ਼ ਹੋ ਕੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਪੰਜ ਪਿਆਰੇ ਯੂਜੂਅਲੀ ਉੱਥੇ ਇਕੱਠੇ ਹੁੰਦੇ ਆ ਨਾ ਸੰਗਤ
Sangat bhi ho sakti hai. Like there's Ratnam, they say that if you have done this, for example, I don't know the exact line, but if you've done this, then present yourself in front of the Sangat, and they will give you the kakar. I remember, I read in a book that if you're like a kakar comes off your body, just go to the Sangat or go to Panj Singhs. They have to be in Amar Sanchar, Panj Singhs or Panj Gursikhs, not just Singhs. Sare Gursikh Panj Seva ka sakte. So any Panj Gursikhs, present yourself to them, and then they can give you kakar or tell you what to do.
ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਜਦੋਂ ਕਕਾਰ ਲੱਗਦਾ
This is
ਪੰਜ
what
ਪਿਆਰ ਦੇ ਮੋਰੇ ਪੇਸ਼ੀ ਹੋਣਾ
No, I'm saying like
if you feel it
if you feel it.
if somebody feel
I
it
read an app from the other book by something about he says Qurban comes off and you feel like it's a tail, right? It's not qiraat, it's not bajja qiraat, you have to take Amrit again, but you feel like you've done, you know, theek nahi if the car comes off, right? You can present yourself to Gursikhs, Panj Gursikh or Rabta Rupi, the Guru Sahib Sarup, right? Panj Singhs or Panj Gursikhs or even Saat Sangat, and they can give you, that's what used to happen in the Puratan days. If somebody did like a till, or let's say, if they didn't do their Nityanam one day, they would present themselves to the Sangat, and the Sangat would be like, chalo, tu nahi Nityanam kita, tu aaj Nityanam karke, ini dugni bani kar, ja, Joryan di seva kar, things like that. So it's not like you're taking Amrit again for taking a kakar.
It's just like, I think it's the checks and balances. But yeah. Very nice.
ਹਾਂਜੀ
I know somebody once said, if you go to the Panj Pyare and confess your mistake, Dharamraj will never question you on that issue. It's settled. If once the Panj Pyare settles it, the Dharamraj will never question you.
Instead of waiting
Yeah.
until you pass away.
Yeah. Now it's we can go to the Panj Pyare
It'll
and
be
settle
easier
it.
now. Because it'll be easier now rather than when you go
now.
to Dargah.
I think it's awesome. I love to go in front of Panj Pyare and speak to them. I love it.
It's your guru, right?
Yeah,
It's
I
your
love it.
personal
Yeah.
fun.
Nothing to be afraid of. Yeah.
We're scared because
Our Hamid, like, good.
ਬੰਦੇ ਨੱਕੜੀ ਦਿੰਦੇ ਨਾ
Oh, I was like, oh no, I'm Sana. Then question? I really like this conversation.
ਤੁਸੀਂ ਮੋਰੇ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ
ਤੁਸੀਂ ਇੱਥੇ ਆ ਜਾਓ ਇੱਥੇ ਆ ਜਾਓ What was your question? Kushni? So you guys, you things are quiet or talking? Questions? Oh my goodness.
ਇਹਨੂੰ ਪਤਾ ਸਾਰਾ ਕੁਝ ਨਾ
Any questions? Thing? Question?
Question?
पर मैं देखिया ना कोई ज़माना बदल गया आ कि अज का बच्चे ज़्यादा इस पास लगते आ पेरेंट्स इन्ने नहीं हैगे पर मैं तो एक गल जो मेरी लाइफ में हुई है कि जो मैं मेरी फैमिली में आई वाज द फर्स्ट डॉटर टू टेक अमृत and I told you the story yesterday and what happened was as I took Amrit and I started living slowly the kirpa went to the whole family. My dad used to drink, he stopped drinking, he took Amrit. My sisters took Amrit. I have a disabled sister who's deaf and dumb, she took Amrit. The whole thing just went to the whole family. When I got married I went to my in-laws. My husband is a Amritari, I'm a Amritari, but my in-laws are not. My in-laws we Amrit Shakala. So the effect went all over. So don't be scared. Who knows because of you?
ਮਲਕੀਤ ਸਿੰਘ said same thing today.
Yeah.
ਉੱਥੇ ਲੈਕਚਰ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਮਲਕੀਤ ਸਿੰਘ ਨੇ ਸੁਣੀ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਸਟੋਰੀ ਸੇਮ ਥਿੰਗ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਦੱਸੀ ਸੀ ਉਹਨੇ ਕੱਲਿਆਂ ਨੇ ਛਕਿਆ ਸੀਗਾ ਸਾਰੀ
family ਤੇ ਅਸਰ ਹੋ ਜਾਂਦਾ ਹੈ. So be brave because of you your family might get kirpa.
Yeah.
So go ahead and do it.
Well.
Yeah.
ਤੁਸੀਂ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਪੇਰੈਂਟਸ ਦੀ ਚਿੰਤਾ ਛੱਡ ਕੇ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਆਪ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਫੀਲ ਕਰੋ ਅੰਦਰ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕਿੰਨੇ ਸਟਰੋਂਗ ਆ.
Who remembers the video? The video at the end? Yeah? She said when you look outside, that's when problems happen. When you look outside to other people and focus on what they're doing or what they're not doing, when you come back inside, that's when you feel most at peace and contentment. And then you move on. Then you learn how to move on. So
you should talk to yourself.
Yeah.
I'm ready. I'm
be
ready.
true.
Yeah.
Be real. You don't need to know where your insecurities are and then work to fix them. We're all on that path, you know. Yeah. So it's about being human. Guru Sahib wants you to be the best human you can be.
And ਜੇ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਮਨ ਵਿੱਚ ਕੋਈ ਕੁਐਸਚਨ ਆ ਅੱਜ ਨਹੀਂ ਆਉਂਦਾ ਕੱਲ ਨੂੰ ਆਉਂਦਾ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕਿਸੇ ਵੀ ਗੁਰਸਿੱਖ ਨੂੰ ਜਾ ਕੇ ਪੁੱਛ ਲਓ ਗੱਲ ਕਰ ਲਓ.
Even online, there's lots of
but sometimes they put negative bad comments too on the it's always better to go person to talk to somebody karke internet pe sometimes they give you wrong advice too.
It depends on what you do.
And you know what, some people when you say akal, how come some people say akal?
I think
that's just how.
This was actually the first time I heard I mean, I knew they said it. Some people say it that way, but it was the first time I had heard it legitimately during the Mon.
Akal.
Yeah, like the.
Usually Nahangs do that. It's bad. You should do it.
I think because when someone's I've seen videos of Nahangs that are high up on weed or whatever, and the way they're talking at the end, right?
That's where it came from.
But I think it's more of personal form of expression because some people say Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa really quietly, really loudly, really happily, and some people say Bole So Nihal a certain way. Their pitches change. They stress a lot of other words. So.
ਸਰੀ ਗੁਰਦੁਆਰੇ ਇੱਕ ਬਜ਼ੁਰਗ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਦੇਖਿਆ ਹੋਣਾ ਸਾਰਿਆਂ ਨੇ ਨਾ ਸਰੀ ਗੁਰਦੁਆਰੇ ਸਾਰੀ ਸੰਗਤ ਦੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਉਨੀ ਆਵਾਜ਼ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਜਿੰਨੀ ਉਹਦੀ ਇਕੱਲੇ ਦੀ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਹੈ ਸੋ
So it's like personal expression. I mean, it's fine.
End of the day ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕੀ ਜਿਹਨੂੰ ਆਪਾਂ ਸਾਰੇ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਹੋ ਇਦਾਂ ਕਰਦਾ ਇਦਾਂ ਕਰਦਾ ਇਦਾਂ ਕਰਦਾ ਇਦਾਂ ਕਰਦਾ ਐਂਡ ਆਫ ਦਾ ਡੇ ਮੈਂ ਲਰਨ ਕੀਤਾ ਜੋ ਅਸੀਂ ਕਰਦੇ ਆ ਦੈਟ ਵਿਲ ਸਟੇ ਵਿਦ ਅਸ. ਭੈਣ ਜੀ ਕੀ ਕਰਦੇ ਆ ਇਹ ਭੈਣ ਜੀ ਕੀ ਕਰਦੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕਰਦੇ ਆ ਕੀ ਕਰਦੇ ਹੋ ਕੀ ਕਰਦੇ ਹੋ ਤੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਕੀ ਕਰਦੇ ਆ ਸਾਰਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਸੋਚਣਾ ਹਮੇਸ਼ਾ ਇਹ ਚਾਹੀਦਾ ਵੀ ਮੈਂ ਚੰਗੇ ਕੰਮ ਕਰਨੇ ਮੈਂ ਚੰਗਾ ਬਣਨਾ.
End of the day, Guru Sahib will look at what you did, not what he did.
ਬਾਣੀ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਪੜੋ ਉਹ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਰਨਾ ਲੈਟ ਅਦਰ ਪੀਪਲ ਡਿਸਾਈਡ. ਤੁਸੀਂ ਆਪਣੇ ਕੋਲੋਂ ਚੰਗੇ ਕੰਮ ਕਰੋ ਕਿਸੇ ਨਾਲ ਈਰਖਾ ਨਾ ਰੱਖੋ ਹੁਣ ਤਾਂ ਗੁਰਸਿੱਖੀ ਗੁਰੂ ਨਾਲ ਇੰਨੀ ਈਰਖਾ ਬੱਚਿਆਂ ਵਿੱਚ ਮੈਂ ਦੇਖੀ ਆ, ਇਹ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਜਾਣੀ ਚਾਹੀਦੀ ਹੈ। ਪਿਆਰ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਗੁਰਸਿੱਖ ਨੂੰ ਤਾਂ ਪਿਆਰ ਕਰਨਾ ਹੀ ਕਰਨਾ, ਤੁਸੀਂ ਸਮਝਦੇ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਗੋਰਾ ਜਾਂ ਹੋਰ ਕੋਈ ਵੀ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨਾਲ ਵੀ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਪਿਆਰ ਕਰੋ।
It's easy to see Guru in Sangat. It's hard to see Guru in normal everyday life. Yeah. So, I think that's a great place to just
If you don't see God in all, you can't see God at all.
Yeah, if you can't see God in all, you can't see God at all.
ਇੱਕ ਸਾਖੀ ਹੈਗੀ ਸੀ.
Oh, never mind.
Can I share the ਸਾਖੀ? I was surprised when I read it too. I found it on the internet about a Gursikh during Guru Gobind Singh's time. And he declared, he said, मैं किसी सिख दी मैं सेवा नहीं करनी, मैं सिर्फ गुरु दी सेवा करनी है. Guruji called him and he said, नहीं, सारे सिखा दी सेवा करनी, not just Guru दी सेवा. And he said, नहीं, मैं सिखा दी सेवा नहीं करनी, मैं सिर्फ गुरु दी सेवा करनी. You know what Guru Maharaj told him? You go to the jungle, pick up the firewoods, burn it, and then you jump in it. I don't want you alive. Because that's not good Sikhi. And this man, when he was burning the fire, he had second thoughts about jumping in. He said, मैं क्यों मरा? You know? ਉਹ ਟਾਈਮ ਤੇ ਇੱਕ ਚੋਰ ਆਇਆ ਸੀਗਾ, ਚੋਰ ਨੇ ਪਤਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਕੀ ਡਾਇਮੰਡਸ ਦਾ ਚੋਰੀ ਕੀਤੇ ਸੀ, ਤੇ ਉਹ ਬੰਦੇ ਨੂੰ ਪੁੱਛਣ ਲੱਗਾ ਕਿ ਤੂੰ ਅੱਗ ਇੰਨੀ ਵੱਡੀ ਸਾੜੀ ਇੱਥੇ ਦਾ ਕੀ ਕਰਨ ਲੱਗਾ ਤੂੰ? ਉਹਨੇ ਸਾਰਾ ਕੁਝ ਦੱਸਿਆ ਕਿ ਗੁਰੂ ਦਾ ਦਾਦਾ ਹੋਇਆ ਸੀਗਾ. ਉਹ ਕਹਿੰਦਾ he felt really bad because he stole the jewelry. He said ਕੋਈ ਨਹੀਂ ਤੂੰ ਹੀ ਰੱਖ ਲਾ, ਮੈਂ ਛਾਲ ਮਾਰਦਾ ਸੋ that ਮੇਰੀ ਮੁਕਤੀ ਹੋ ਜਾਏ ਗੁਰੂ ਦਾ ਹੁਕਮ ਮੰਨ ਕੇ. ਉਹਨੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਛਾਲ ਮਾਰੀ, ਉਹ ਸਿੱਖ ਨੇ ਉਹ ਫੜ ਕੇ ਕਹਿੰਦਾ ਮੈਂ ਜਾ ਕੇ ਵੇਚ ਕੇ I want to live my life ਕਹਿੰਦਾ. So he went to the town to go and sell it. And he got caught. The policeman caught him, said, where did you get the jewelry? At the end, he was hung. He couldn't survive it either. So what do we learn from this? It's not just Guru Di Seva. Sarbat da Pala. It's Guru Nanak Dev Ji's mission. Yeah.
I was thinking.
What you was thinking?
I don't know. I was thinking about my history. I don't know where my mind was. My mind was.
Oh.
I'm thinking again.
Okay, ਫਿਰ.
ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕਾ ਖਾਲਸਾ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕੀ ਫਤਿਹ.
Please, I am not the supreme authority.
Krishna Krishna. Oh yeah, yeah.